Hey everyone, it's Rob.
Hey, Michelle.
And welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Merp.
All right, so this week up on the docket, we have, of course, leagues. And not League of Legends, but rather Leagues 5. We have a bunch of issues, fixes, and other updates for leagues. Obviously, we're a week into it, so hopefully everyone's having a good time. It's been over a week since we did our last podcast, weirdly enough.
Yeah, we published it early.
Yeah. And then we are also going to be moving on to some additional stuff, both surveys, but one of them is a poll. Poll 83, the Giga poll.
Yeah, specifically about Castle Wars, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Other stuff too, but
New player changes.
yeah, and a couple more.
And then the survey is about the future of the game. Whatever.
Their yearly survey. They do this every year.
Oh, who would have thought? But yeah, so we're going to be going over that. And then, of course, at the end of the pod, we will be having our questions as per usual. Feel free to send your questions in however you want. Like, I think most people have been doing it through Spotify, but if you want to send it over on discord.gg/Bunebape, we do have a questions section over there, and we do appreciate all of them. It can be about RuneScape or other games or just real life stuff. Feel free to ask any questions, and if they're not atrocious, we'll answer them.
Key phrase there, if they're not atrocious.
Yeah. But before we get into all that super cool stuff this week, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going really well. I've just been playing leagues. I'm actually fishing right now currently because I have been getting far behind compared to Robert. Like, they just found out he's 3,000 points more than me. So we went hard. We both had 4 days off of work. It was best 4 days of my life, potentially.
Yeah, probably.
All we were doing is playing games, and then we'd eat, and then we'd play more games and not sleep enough. It kind of ruined my work week, though. I've been very tired.
Yeah.
But it's been so much fun. But then the last few days, now that I'm working and I have to make shorts again and I have to stream, I'm getting a lot less points. And I know that sounds goofy because it's like you stream RuneScape, but I'm talking to people. It's not as efficient. Like, I wasn't even listening to music whenever I was spending like most of that league's time. Like, I was just zoned in reading and writing notes and stuff on what I was going to do.
Yeah. It's definitely noticeable because you passed me several times.
Yeah. And now that it's the week, it's way worse.
It's a lot easier for me to play games and do my job than for you to play games and do your job.
Yeah, so I've been trying to like AFK stuff at work. Sometimes I'll have like 5 minutes of downtime between calls. So I was like, I'm gonna try to get Muspa Casey, and it was not 5 minutes, and someone called, and I like locked my phone, and I ended up dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you are picking kind of heinous things to do on mobile.
I've been woodcutting and fletching too.
In between things.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. I just want a Venator bow for fun. I'm just using a rune crossbow.
You don't. Oh yeah, you don't have any good bows, huh?
No, I don't. So I'll save my relics real quick. I have
all of the same exact relics. So
I have one different actually.
No, I don't.
You do. We'll see it in a second.
Oh yeah, the third one.
Okay, so first we both have Animal Wrangler, and then we both have Dodgy Deals, and then we both have Clue Compass.
Yeah.
And then I chose Reloaded and used that to get Corner Cutter.
And I chose Reloaded and used that to get the Friendly Forager.
Mm-hmm. And then we both have Slayer Master, Total Recall, and Grimoire. As far as the combat mastery goes, I have all of the ranged and I have 2 of the melee. So I've actually done 2 of the Echo bosses so far.
Same.
I've gotten the Gloves of the Damned from Gargoyles. The DKs I've only killed once. I haven't tried really that many times since then.
Yeah, they're difficult.
I need to get those. They are way more difficult than the gargoyles are dead easy, bro. It's funny.
Yeah. Funny enough, I don't know all of the Echo bosses, but I would venture to say DKs, if done the way they're intended, are some of the more difficult.
Apparently there's a way to save spot it. I might try that later.
Yeah.
I already got the KC. I could prove I did it. I could just cheese it.
No, that's a fluke. One can be a fluke.
No, I got so close again the other day, but whatever. So I've been killing Echo bosses. I still haven't killed Serb because I don't actually have the Slayer level.
Yikes.
Yeah, he was doing a lot more Slayer than me while I was doing random stuff. So, I mean, I have so much stuff I want to work on. Oh, let me see how many points I have too. I have 18,090 points, 504 tasks completed. So I am still only steel rank, unfortunately.
Yikes.
And
I am just below 21,000. So I am mithril officially.
So that's why I'm still fishing when we do this, because once I get 99 fishing and cooking, that'll be more points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life hack for you all. Super easy, 400 points, especially if you have the most minigame bonuses, which I think is like tier 4. go to Brimhaven Agility, and within an hour you get 400 points just from getting the Pirate's Hook.
Yeah.
And you could also get more points by doing 30 of them without like missing any pillars.
Yeah, I think in total it's like 560 points, all the stuff in Brimhaven, if you want to do it. You just have to get a Snapdragon. You have to do 30 tickets without failing, and then you get the Pirate's Hook. The Pirate's Hook, and I think, yeah, it's around 560.
It's very quick, very satisfying. Would recommend. But
I haven't done that yet.
You were working on it though, right?
I haven't done any of them. Well, I've done the Snapdragon.
Yeah.
That was it.
What you been up to?
Also League of Legends.
No.
So I have been doing the same thing as you, just all the same stuff, except I have done like a few different notable grinds. Is I did 150 tormented demons. 151. It took me 150, and I didn't get the synapse or the claw. And on my 151th, I was all like, all right.
151th.
My 151th, I went back and I was like, all right, let me just get like a couple more to see if I get it. Because like all of my preceding plans were kind of predicated on me having the bow.
Yeah.
And so on my 151, I went in, killed my boss. Or killed the guy, and I got it. So that was cool.
Not the guy.
The guy, dude. So I have a scorching bow. I have the scorching bow. I also did Muspel, and I got the Venator bow.
I'm still using a freaking rune crossbow, bro.
Yeah. I've also killed. I haven't done gargoyles. I've done gargoyles, but I haven't done the Echo version because they haven't dropped it yet. But
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I did DKs as well, and I have farmed a bit of Cerberus as well.
Have you gotten any of the Echo drops yet?
I haven't gotten any of the Echo drops.
Okay.
No. I haven't been very good on drops from bosses in general.
So far. Watch you go to top in first one and get the Mega Rare voucher.
Yeah, I mean the T-bow's not super useful for me, so
I still want it.
Yeah, I would want it for sure.
Last night I went and did some tobs, and if you do hard modes, I don't think it's guaranteed, but all 5 of us were getting purples. And like a several death raid.
Supposedly
crazy.
Yeah, what Megan said is it's guaranteed within time.
Yeah. So or that's at least people are noticing.
If you do hard mode within time, all of the players get purple.
It's crazy. I got a Jesty helm and a rapier, and I don't need either.
And then the next KC, everyone got a rapier.
Yeah, except for Villain, who got a Sanguinesti.
Gross.
That's because he ran in before the rest of us and opened it without waiting.
Yeah.
He's cursed.
That's pretty much it though. Today was kind of a big day at work. I was able to get full prospector, and I already had the Stardust, so I was able to guild the full prospector, which is like all of that together is like 400 or 500 points, and then I also got 299s in fishing and cooking. That's another 400 points. So that's
cool. Why I'm logged in right now. Like,
yeah, big. It was like a 1,000-point day. It was pretty big.
I like don't even want to record right now. I just want to go play.
Anyways, no, I did write some stuff down. There's some community notes, some cool stuff that I saw in the community, and stuff that I think people might find interesting.
Cool.
Obviously, almost all of it is League stuff, but I did see the first heinous thing.
Oh.
How fast do you think someone killed Vorkath?
Oh God. I mean, No Monkey did the Echo version of Soul the first day, I think. So killed Vorkath, I want to say within 20 minutes.
No, how fast the time to kill Vorkath.
I thought you meant how long it took them to get there.
No.
Which honestly, probably within 20 minutes.
Yeah, probably within 20 minutes.
Fastest Vorkath time. I mean, the Darox melee build, you could probably... I want to say...
There's no...
What's the Grandmaster time again?
I don't know what the Grandmaster...
Like one...
The Grandmaster time is like 48 seconds.
Oh my God. People must have been really crazy.
Or I think it might have been 51. I got it on my first kill.
Okay. 30 seconds?
Okay.
22.
This is Vorkath, no spec.
Okay.
And he did I'll tell you, this is the general strategy for getting like the biggest damage as a melee user, like literally the biggest, is you go 1 HP Darox.
Yeah.
You eat a envenomed sac from an Araxite in order to kill yourself. And then you use the final stand damage bonus.
Dating was doing that yesterday at Tob.
And this person was able to kill Vorkath in 3 seconds.
Stop it. Like, I don't even understand.
But before Vorkath was able to even like do his wake up
Vorkath's literally like, who's there?
Yeah, he woke up and died.
Stop it.
Pretty cool.
What?
Also, something else interesting is we actually broke a new record.
Oh, most concurrent players, right?
Yeah, 230,000 players.
Wow, people love leagues.
Yeah. Also, the last heinous thing I saw was someone was able to get, I think they were just doing, what's it called? Like demon thrones or something like that. But you're able to get 240 million XP an hour
What?
in construction by doing demon thrones.
Oh my god. I'm assuming they have Golden God for the money.
Yeah,
right?
of course. But yeah, so that was kind of crazy.
So that's like what, 10 minutes and you're 99?
Yeah. Also, JCW, the content creator that is has done multiple different accounts, speed running to 99 or to max 2277, and they got it in I think around 4 days
Oh my god.
on leagues.
Max like 22
2277 max count.
right, but not 200 mil.
Well, obviously not 200 mil.
Kind of feels like no one's trying.
It's not even a task to get 200 mil.
Yeah, but for the flex.
Yeah, I guess so. Besides that, though, I actually have a few questions that I thought
Oh,
that you might be interested in.
okay.
Just I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on them.
Sure.
Because they're related to leagues as well.
Okay.
So someone was saying that Tybo One Eye should be auto completed. What are your thoughts?
Yes.
And then Mod Arcane jumped in and said, "What other quest do you guys think should be auto completed?"
I was surprised that Firminic Exiles wasn't.
Okay.
Because I have Clue Compass and I went to go do a Master Clue and I could not access something because I don't have Firminic Exiles done. But I don't mind that's not because I plan on doing the quest tonight, maybe if I have time, and it's gonna be like a huge XP drop.
Yeah.
So that's nice. At the same time, like it was kind of surprising, like that's the main quest here. Because DS2 was done.
Yeah.
DT2's done. I don't know how they pick and choose. Tybo One Eye seems like very random to not have done.
It was really random.
Especially
and a
'cause-
lot of people don't like going and manually casting air blast in order to kill a lobstrosity so you can poison or so you can give the agility potion to the guy.
I didn't do the quest. I just started so I could have access to Karam once and that's it.
Yeah. For anyone that's not an Iron Man and doesn't know the grind, the only way to get frog's legs for the agility potion, literally
rock
the
lobsters.
only one in the game is killing lobstrosities, which is underwater in Fossil Island.
Which are also a thing in the Dark Tower series.
Okay.
And they kill someone.
Also, someone said, what if, not for any other reason than just saying we can.
Mm-hmm.
For people that want to, it would matter, but for most everyone else, it wouldn't matter. What if everyone started not just as an iron in leagues, but as a hardcore? Just to show who has and hasn't died.
It would be kind of fun.
It's not like it would matter.
Yeah. Only people that really care would bother trying to stay alive.
Exactly.
I think it could be kind of cool though. Because then I'm sure that there's some people who are playing it hardcore, but there's no way for them to flex that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of down for that. I don't think it would affect anything negatively.
Okay. Second to
You
last
have to answer
one.
what you think all these.
No, I think it's cool. I think any annoying like entry level quest might be worth auto completing, but also then you taking away the XP. Someone's like, "Oh, I want you to uncomplete the like Forgotten Spirit or whatever the beginning one is in the graveyard, so that you can get free prayer XP because it takes like 1 second."
That's why it's like bittersweet because you don't want to have to waste your time, but also the XP drops are crazy.
I think like intro quests that are like barrier blockers to certain things, because that just barriers Tybo One Eye.
Yeah, which is weird because like the main bank's in Karamja, so it feels strange that.
And it's also annoying because obviously if you have Animal Wrangler, this doesn't matter, but for everyone else, you have to fully complete that quest and do the annoying lobstrosity thing for Karam ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
For Animal Wranglers, you can just start it essentially, and then you immediately have access to it.
Why do we keep having access?
Because we cook it successfully.
Oh, and if you fail it, you have to. Well, I thought once you have to level, you're fine.
No. So we cook it successfully because of Animal Wrangler, but you don't learn, quote unquote, learn how to successfully cook a Karamwan until the end of the quest.
Ew. Yikes.
You cook the poisoned ones.
Good thing I'm Animal Wrangler.
I mean, yeah, but you haven't even gone there. You're still at sharks.
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, okay.
I just prefer sharks because it's more AFK because I don't have to get Karambonjis before.
Yeah.
You went through like 5,000 Karambonjis in like an hour.
Yeah, but it only took me like 20 minutes to get them.
Yeah, but still, I don't want to have to run around.
Okay. This one I actually thought was probably one of the best questions.
Okay.
And this is for the main game. Do you think that Zulrah being attackable by halberds should be moved to the main game? It's the area. Just as a reminder, Zulrah is in the area where halberds are introduced in the game.
I mean, I think so because it makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense that if this weapon, every other boss, it can hit within those tiles. Why would it suddenly be like, except for here, there's like a weird barrier where you can't?
Yeah. Also, they did point out that it's like kind of silly that the Noxious Halberd has an effect almost specifically designed for Zulrah,
Oh, yeah.
and you can't use it there.
That's funny. I mean, yeah, it kind of makes no sense because if it was praying against melee, that's different. But for no reason at all, it just takes no damage. It could just take less damage.
Yeah, I think it would be okay if they made it so then Zulrah does melee attacks. So then you have to like you have
even
to,
more.
Yeah, you have to pay like more attention.
That's fair.
And like the Jad is also included in melee.
Ew, never mind. I don't want this anymore. I hate the Jad phase. That's why I'm glad I have a shadow. I can just kill it.
They should just make the Jad phase like telegraph so you don't know.
Oh my god, Robert, come on.
I'm just saying if you want to make it more accessible for stuff like that, you maybe make it harder.
That's
and then
insane.
The last one, also a lot of people have said, I'm not gonna, this isn't a question, but a lot of people have said that they kind of want some of the echo bosses in some way in the game. Especially a lot of people said that about KQ.
Yeah, I heard people saying KQ is actually fun now.
Yeah.
And it's improved. Someone was asking me like on stream if I thought that there should be them in the main game, and I was like, no, not really. But then after I actually tried it, I was like, okay, wait, maybe there should be because this would be fun to do.
I think there are GGs, the Grotesque Guardians are kind of broken if you use range, but if they fix that and there was an actual like, the official way to do it was fleshed out, I think GGs are straight up way better than they are in the main game.
Yeah.
The ones in the main game are boring and honestly kind of just not fun, but the ones in leagues are actually
they're pretty fun.
If you do them correctly, are pretty fun.
I wasn't even doing them correctly, and I was having
fun. Last thing. Mm-hmm. What about Echo Cuthbert?
Wait, that'd be too scary though.
That would be too scary.
Scariest frog in the game.
Yeah.
I forgot what Cuthbert was. I thought you were just trying to say your name weird. I was like, Robert Cuthbert? I don't know.
No. That was it.
It's just a frog. Like,
yeah, that was mainly it. There was a few other things, but it's okay. We can move on because we have a lot to talk about with leagues.
We have so much to talk about. Holy moly. All right. Issues and fixes. We're just going to get into it, man.
Yeah, these are fixes that happened a few days after the launch. There is a long list.
There's a very long list. So this was last updated on Monday, December 2nd, a few days ago.
It started on Friday, and it's just been updated for several days straight.
So we'll just randomly say stuff?
Yeah, because there is quite literally over like 50 issues that were fixed or are being fixed.
There's a lot of clue stuff that was not working, and some of them are still being worked on too.
Yeah, a lot of them are still being worked on.
Mostly it's just tasks being like, yeah, you don't actually have access to this area and you were given this clue.
Yeah,
which
a lot of
happened to us last year, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, for instance, Megan in the stream as well as you ran into this issue that the task to equip a wizard robe and hat doesn't count if you're using a wizard robe or hat gilded.
Or trimmed, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the rubber was like, oh, if you just like wear the outfit, it's a task. And I'm like, I've been wearing the outfit. What do you mean? No, it's particular. It's really weird.
Yeah, I had to tell you that you get it from the wizards in the Wizard Tower.
Yeah, now you can thankfully do any, because I was like weirdly later in the game, like a full day in, just going back there and like one-shotting the wizards.
Yeah.
What are a couple other good ones? Oh my gosh, I investigated. I reported this one. So Killa Wallasalki. The little seals that shoot you with mage on the way to DKs. That task was not completing in some areas of the Warbirth dungeon. I don't know if it's working in some other areas, but I was trying to kill them in like 3 different rooms and none of them were counting as a task.
It worked for me.
It worked for you?
Yeah.
Oh wow! It just says investigated. It's not even fixed yet.
I think investigated kind of means it's fixed.
Oh well, I'll go try again later then.
Yeah.
What other good ones we got?
I don't know.
Unlocking. Oh wait, I lost it. Slayer Master XP drops were not working with some creatures. Yeah. I have not been keeping track of that. That could have been happening this entire time, and I just actually wouldn't know.
That is true. There's a ton. So if you are having a problem in the game, then maybe check out the hotfix things because it could still be under investigation. Like there's another one where the alchemist goggles, which give 10% secondary save, was not stacking additively with the friendly foragers 90% for a total of 100%, which it should have been, and now it is.
Yeah, that was like the whole appeal of it, was if you have
Yeah.
both those areas, you'll always save them.
Yeah, exactly. So
One snape grass to save them
one
all.
but the annoying thing that they don't tell you, or that no one really tells you, is that if you have friendly forager and you, like, let's say only have like 5 secondaries and are doing 14 potions at a time, then you have to continually, after you're done with 5 potions, do it again.
Oh, so if you have one, you have to keep clicking over and over.
It
and
only
over.
knows that you have
That's
that
funny.
many.
That's super funny.
Yeah, so it won't keep going.
All right. Also, something that I didn't know was that corner cutter gives you twice the agility lap counts.
Well, maybe you didn't know because it wasn't working.
No, it was working at mine. It wasn't working at Apatol or Prif. It's actually still not working at Apatol.
Yeah,
But it's working now. So that's actually pretty nice.
I saw a really interesting thing. I don't know if it like updates based on your level, but I saw someone today that fought a superior aberrant specter in the Slayer Tower. And I guess when you like examine them,
They're
he
like,
says
it's stinky.
it's like super smelly, and like the only way to get this smell off you is to run a certain number of laps at the monkey agility course.
Wait, what?
And it's the laps that would require to get you from like a certain level to like 79, which is like the requirement to run the course. It's like a very weirdly specific
That's
examination
strange.
thing.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I just know he's like, you smell bad.
Yeah, that too.
Some stuff actually wasn't boosted. Silver Blade's drop rate wasn't boosted.
Yeah,
Something that was boosted was the imbued heart that Robert got at like 6 superiors.
I guess
That
it
was
must
crazy.
be, or I'm just lucky. Who knows?
You got something else at 6. What was that? Oh, Black Mask at 4.
Yeah, the black mask.
That was
yeah,
good.
That was really easy.
I love League's drops. They're so satisfying.
This isn't on here, but this is a fix in the actual patch notes from this week, talking about Raging Echoes some more. I'll just mention it here because we are talking about the Black Mask. Some people did report that, and this was fixed, I guess, but apparently the on task thing wasn't working for a lot of players. So like, for instance, if you're at the Rev Caves and you're on task, the chance of you getting something goes
Oh, it goes up a lot.
it goes up by multiple times.
Same with like Basilisk Knights.
Yeah,
right?
like your chance of getting something goes from like over 1 in over 100,000 to like less than like 20.
Yeah.
So it is much better. But I guess like that wasn't working. And then some people were saying that if you took Slayer Master, you also had an abysmally low drop rate to get the Black Mask.
Weird.
I don't know how that would be related though.
I don't really understand that.
Yeah, I honestly just think those people were probably going dry, but I don't know because I got it after 4 cases.
Everything that I'm going dry on, I'm like, I don't think that these boosted rates are working.
Yeah, dude, that's what I
You
was
know, I'm
saying.
not going dry. I'm like, I don't think it's working.
That's what I was saying at Rune Dragons yesterday.
Oh, what were you trying to get, Rune Dragons? Oh,
I was
the
trying
limbs.
to get the dragon crossbow.
Yeah.
And I mean anything really, and I didn't get any of them. Luckily, the first thing I did get was the dragon crossbow. But
Oh, one of the things that they hotfixed day of was that some players' jaws were missing, which I noticed immediately. Like, you're just like, whoa.
that's cool.
I wanted to say any complaints that we had about leagues.
Any complaints?
I had a couple. I wrote one down. I don't remember what it was. Okay,
you have a list of
one
things
of
you
them.
hate.
To be fair, our complaints are just a result of us not knowing how to read. I didn't realize that we still need bait and feathers to fish
Yeah,
with Animal Wrangler. That was kind of upsetting. It probably says that somewhere, but we didn't notice. And we were both like, what the heck? That was a
I don't think
bummer.
it says anywhere.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it just says that it acts as the fishing utensil.
Which
but
you'd assume.
a lot of people assumed it acted as the bait too.
Yeah.
but it doesn't. Yeah.
And then the other one, which they didn't say that this would be a thing, we just made it up. We thought that stuff stolen from stalls would be stacked until I went to steal gems. And I was like, wait, these don't stack.
Well, the way I read it, it kind of seemed like it was a connection to the previous statement that things that were pickpocketed were also stacked and noted. But yeah, I guess that's not the case. So I made thieving a little less interesting. I thought I was just going to sit there and be able to thieve a gem stall for like a really long time,
too.
but that's not the case.
Now I do, but then I have to cut the gems and sell them and then come back.
No,
Which, I
I'm not
mean,
gonna
I
do
have
that.
total recall, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Any complaints you want to say?
Any complaints?
Want to lodge any complaints?
I don't know. There's not a ton of complaints, honestly.
That's good.
Yeah.
I guess that's ideal.
It's better than like previous leagues.
Is it your favorite so far?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's my favorite so far just because I like the echo bosses make it fun.
Yeah.
I like that you're not so hard locked on one combat type. You don't even have to get tier 6 in any combat mastery if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But that's really nice.
I guess if I did have a complaint, this is a complaint I had before leagues, and now that I'm playing it, I still have it, that I am not super sure on how I feel about them doing the mega rare tokens.
Oh, I like that.
I like it because it's like cool that you can get it from any raid. Like for instance, anyone that doesn't know, you can get a scythe from any raid.
Yeah, if you are going to get a scythe drop, instead you get a mega rare voucher and you could turn that in for a scythe, Tiva, or shadow.
Yeah. And I don't know if I like or dislike that or if I'm like neutral, just because I kind of also slightly share the sentiment that like I haven't seen other people
You have to do the content to get it.
Yeah, I haven't seen other people say this, by the way, and so maybe I'm the only one that thinks this, but I like having choice and it mattering, because like currently if you got Corinne or Desert or Moritania and your only goal was to get a mega rare, then your choice doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which
I don't think of it that way because I have so many other goals too.
yeah, it's like, sure, that's probably not most people's goal, but it's like I don't know if I like that, I guess. Just
I think
because
that's valid.
I don't know. Like that's kind of like a chase item. If you're like, oh, I picked Corinne because it's, I really want the Tebow, then it's kind of like, why would I go to Corinne?
Well, I think it's the opposite way is now you're not forced to do combat or content you don't really want to unlock just for that. Like I really didn't want to do TOA again.
I guess so, but it's
And I
like
don't need anything from TOA, but still.
the thing is, I think about it like a lot of people. I don't know. The way I think about it is like maybe you just had a bad experience and maybe it's fun and you just don't want to go back because it's annoying to go back. But like in leagues, it's not a big deal, or it's just way easier in leagues. And like you're like, oh, then you like maybe understand it better and you're like, okay, I can see why this is actually interesting and I'll give it a try again in the real game.
I don't know. It made me play more adventurously, more different this time. Because last time I chose TOA and top specifically because I was like, all right, well, I have to have 2 raids.
Yeah.
This year I was like, oh, I could actually go explore other areas now. I don't need to have 2 raids.
The thing is, I don't think that decision was predicated on which mega rare you were getting.
Tob I do for fun. And then last year I did TOA specifically for the Fang. And I was considering doing it for Missouri and then just doing a Zenite crossbow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I get what you mean, but I disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's not a big complaint, but it was something I kind of thought about. Because I like being limited by things, because then it kind of makes your choice feel
More impactful. Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I'm melee, so... But I guess you can... the other side of the coin is like you have to lock into something. It's like if you're melee, you're going Moritania, which is kind of lame.
Yeah.
So I can see both sides.
Okay.
But yeah, there are some other official issues. Those all we just read were hot fixes.
Jeez.
There's
Louise.
more issues to be fixed at a later date, apparently.
Herbivore doesn't interact correctly with Friendly Forager. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Really?
I don't know what should and shouldn't work with Friendly Forager. For anyone that doesn't know, if you're just doing a like production type task with Friendly Forager, then you just get an herb appears in your bag.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that happens when I'm like mining, when I'm fishing, stuff like that. It just didn't happen with Herbivore, but I don't even remember it happening with like Chinchompa, so I don't even know if this is an issue or not.
You're just not even paying attention.
No.
You're just in your own little world. That's okay.
This is a big problem though.
Mining gloves aren't correctly increasing the number of successful mining rolls you can perform if used in conjunction with an Echo Pickaxe.
That's like specifically why a lot of people were getting it.
Yeah. Wait, but that means that they're not going to fix it because they say since the status of these issues isn't going to change, we'll use a list here to keep things a little more concise.
No, it's not going to change currently. Like these are to be fixed at a later date.
Still, like how long is later?
I don't know.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
A really random one is that Quetzin didn't count as a skilling pet for the task.
That is really weird.
And I guess still doesn't, huh?
I guess you only get it from hunting, so.
Yeah, it's literally skilling.
Yeah.
What are we?
Literally. Okay.
Anyway, more leaks.
Anything else?
Oh, sorry. None of these. Nothing was too crazy to me.
Yeah.
If they didn't affect me, this is gonna sound so selfish. If they didn't affect me, I wasn't as interested in them.
Yeah, I mean there were a bunch of Clue Compass teleport issues, but I mean,
yeah, some stuff like you have to finish quest and things like that. Like I have to go finish Firminic Exiles. I don't think that's gonna get fixed. I think that's just a pain point for me.
Yeah, same. Like I can't teleport to Keldagrim even if I have Keldagrim unlocked, but I haven't finished the Giant Dwarf quest, so I'll never be able to teleport there.
I haven't finished it either, but I can go there.
That's weird.
Or maybe the Clue Compass. I wasn't. Maybe I was just going the long way.
Yeah.
I think I was actually just running.
Yeah, I just had to run all those times.
Jesus.
But yeah, those are it for the fixes. We have some actual league stuff that's not boring old fixes.
I thought the fixes were interesting.
Boring old fixes, like I said.
All right, so Leagues 5 Raging Echo changes, more of them different changes for some reason, I guess. We are officially 1 week into Leagues. While you've been blasting your way through tasks, agonizing over relic picks, and facing off against Echo bosses, our team has been working to fix those first week bugs. We just went over most of them, but there are some cold fixes with this week's update that we could read to you. We'll go back and forth.
Saying most of them is generous, but yeah, we did go over some of them.
We went over a handful. But yeah, so many, I'm sorry.
We have some cold fixes. These are fixes that slowly happen whenever there is an update, so they're not pressing issues. And this is going to be the League area emote animation no longer hides other animations.
There was a bug causing both the Crush Hour combat achievement from Poseidon's Nightmare and the Timotle's Triumph CA for Amoxolotl to fail.
And the Treasure Arbiter now works with the Master Cryptic Clue featuring Juna.
Complete all combat tasks. We're not registering for Vardorvis, Leviathan, Duke, Whisper, Araxer, or Perilous Moons, despite all CAs being completed.
Okay, and we fixed a bug causing all the jeweled crabs at Chambers to switch to the wrong attack style when using Nature's Reprisal, plus roll incorrect accuracy with the melee style. And also, I had read that Nature's Reprisal had been kind of just like incorrectly calculating accuracy for a little bit, but I think it's fixed now.
Yeah. They also said that players with Grimoire activated can now complete the task for redeeming an arcane dex scroll as intended. That's not true.
No,
and the lie detector has determined that that is false.
Okay, so you're misinterpreting this. So if you had Grimoire activated, it automatically gives you access to the dex and arcane scroll, right? Which means you can't relearn them.
Yeah, but it's saying that if you have it activated, you can now complete the task for redeeming it. And that's not accurate. It doesn't get redeemed. Am I missing it?
You are missing it. It's because we have never gotten the scrolls ourselves.
Yeah.
So this isn't a problem for us. They're saying that if you got the arcane and the dex scroll, you couldn't use them.
Oh, that's stupid. I still think that should count. And also, I already reported as a bug.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Why would that give us points for doing nothing?
Because we have access to them, bro.
No. They're saying you couldn't redeem the arcane
I get it now.
scroll.
Move on.
So the next thing
No way,
is...
you just let me embarrass myself. I brought this up like an hour ago, and you agreed with me.
I didn't think
you were not listening to me.
I didn't think you'd actually thought it was supposed to work that way. They also fixed an issue where players couldn't get Hydra or Araxite tasks. But I mean, just get Slayer Master.
Just get Slayer Master. Yeah. Get good. Equipping the Corrupted Bofa now correctly completes the regular enhanced weapon task.
Cool. And lastly, there was a hotfix that happened early this week. Using the Total Recall Orb to save a rune crafting altar in a different region that you didn't have access to would make your orb pretty much stop working.
That's insane.
There was also a bug where in Guardians of the Rift, you couldn't even go to the other altars that were in areas you hadn't unlocked.
Really?
Like it just wouldn't let you.
And I'm sure it lets
Or you would try to go there and it would just teleport you back to Varrock or back to Lumbridge.
That's so lame. It's working now.
But now it's working. So like if you have access or if you go to the Blood Altar or something like that and you don't have access to Mauritania, then you should actually be able to save the location there and use it.
Cool. Take advantage of it. That's one good reason to get the desert, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, they have also revealed the point thresholds for how much stuff all the rewards are going to cost. Most expensive thing here. I wish that they
It's
put
always
it
the
in
same
order.
thing.
Why don't they ever put it in order? I see it now. Echo Relic Hunter outfit tier 3 is going to be 20,000 points. I still can't afford that outfit.
Yeah,
That's
but I mean,
crazy.
the thing that most people want is going to be like the death animations and stuff like that. So all of those are pretty cheap. The home teleport is going to be 1,000, the banner is going to be 500, and the death scroll is going to be 3,000.
Yeah, and then the ornament kits. So Arums is going to be 8,000, Venator Bow 10,000, Echo Spirit Tree 6,000.
And the NPC contact will be 5k. The
I forgot about that.
Echo Verdus will be 10k. And if you want to spruce up your house, then you can do so with the rug and the curtains. I think
And the
each.
scrying pool.
And I was like, I think each, including the scrying pool, are going to be 6,000. They kind of include them as one item, but I think each of them will be 6,000.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Next up, we have some new activity worlds for leagues, which this week we've just been going to the most popular worlds and hopping around until we found people.
Yeah, so like if you want to do
Handy.
Shades of Morn, you would just find the most populated world, and hopefully there was people there.
To be fair, you're still doing that because there's not a Shades of Morn world.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say all the worlds, but there are now worlds for specifically Sorceress's Garden for the thieving, obviously.
Working.
Guardians of the Rift, Temperos, which I don't know if it is now, but it was reported originally didn't have boosted ticket rates.
Hopefully that's updated.
Soul Wars, and lastly Pest Control, which
Nice.
I already finished that, so that's useless.
I need to log in.
Lodge in.
I need to lodge in. They also do like a little bit of shout outs for people making YouTube content. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a billion and one videos on YouTube, so go watch them. We've both been recording. I don't know if we'll actually do anything with it,
Who
but
knows?
just in case.
And then I was actually surprised because they have a Discord leaderboard. I don't know if this includes everyone in the game or just everyone on Discord.
I think it's everyone in the game. I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
I was like, I don't know.
Oh, I know. So to sign up, you have to join the channel and click the green join leaderboard.
Oh, okay. See, that makes more sense. Because I thought.
Oh, there's over 300 of you battling it out.
Oh, okay.
So
That makes more sense.
But to be fair, the people who are nerds and are doing a really good job, they're gonna know to sign up for this.
Yeah, but I thought that there was no one that was even close to Dragon tier.
There might be.
I'm sure there is. I'm not looking it up. I'm sure there's someone that's close or even Dragon tier right now. But I thought this leaderboard was the total overall leaderboard.
I did
And
too.
with that being said, these people are obviously grinding much more than everyone else. And so they're close to 40,000 points, which is still not even close to Dragon. So I was kind of surprised.
Dude, how much gold do you think people had to spend on these names? Alice, Patrick, and Greg.
Oh, Greg's had his name for a long time.
Yeah, but do you think he had to buy it still?
I don't know. He's been playing for a really long
How
time.
long? I mean, Alice and Patrick then.
Yeah.
Crazy names.
Yeah, I don't know who Alice and
Love it.
Patrick are, but yeah, I know Greg's been playing for a really
How
long
much do you
time.
think it would cost if I wanted to buy Michelle?
I don't know, probably like a couple grand or something,
Oh my god.
if I had to guess.
It would be so
However,
cool.
however
though.
much you're willing to pay.
It would be so sick.
Yeah.
But I would pay $5.
This is something different though. This is main game stuff.
Ew. Ew, what's main game?
Guardians of the Rift. So some people might have noticed this because this was already changed a few weeks ago, but they are actually putting it into words now. The minimum threshold for points in order to get rewards previously was 150, and they upped it by double up to 300.
That's literally just to keep you guys from hopping worlds and getting rewards over and over again.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. Can't be mad about it.
yeah. There you go. I guess you could have there could be like a point boosting ring going on if it was too easy. I guess
There probably was.
probably was.
Some other changes, they're talking about they rolled out the mobile UI update the other week. They also introduced a scroll bar to the mini menu for entries exceeding 12. This week they added a settings option to toggle the scroll bar on or off depending upon your preference. They also made some general changes, so they fixed a bug with the rock cake stall, which prevented progress on the Watchtower quest and main game worlds. And the Rune Thronax's special attack now correctly deals damage when bouncing after being used on the doors of the DK's lair. I don't know why you guys are doing DKs on mains on mobile, and I will never understand it.
Yeah, shout out to you.
You're ridiculous.
Also, speaking of shout out, let me quickly interject here.
Okay.
And shout out to everyone that's been listening. We recently checked out.
Should we go over it a little?
I think just a brief shout out is fine enough. Unless you guys want to know all of these stats,
I'll post on Twitter or something.
Yeah, we'll post it on Twitter. But if you want to hear us talk about the stats of all the listeners, if you find that interesting, let us know. I just figured I would shout everyone out. Apparently, there's at least 60 of you where we're the number one podcast you listen to, which is
and
obscene.
I know it's not either of us because we don't listen back.
Yeah, but even beyond that, I think there's 600 of you where we're within the top 10, which is also
bizarre.
Quite an honor. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. It's really cool. We were like, who are these losers? Why are you listening to us?
Yeah.
In an endearing way.
It's kind of bizarre.
It's really cool.
But,
yeah, I'll post this somewhere.
But yeah, respect to you.
Shout
guys.
out to the 55+ year olds. We've gained 300% of you this year.
Yeah, some older gamers.
I know. It's kind of cool.
Speaking of, if you are a older gamer, maybe you remember comic books when they were in their heyday.
I feel like they're a thing again.
But yeah, they're coming back yet again.
Oh, okay.
And we have the RuneScape ones. These issue number 2 comics are out now.
Ooh.
So Untold Tales of the God Wars, but now they're told, so they need to change the title. Those are out.
That was a lame
and,
joke.
I think they're like $4. So
Oh, cheap. Okay, go check it out, guys. They also, I think this is interesting. They put a survey on what kind of merch everyone wants to see.
yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
They actually put some more merch out as well. They called it their Christmas gift guide.
It's the same old stuff, but they just are showing you again.
Yeah.
So like they have the Shadows of Elvarg game. That's the tabletop one.
It does look fun.
And
We
they
just don't have
also
friends to play with.
The OSRS Boss Top Trumps, which is a long name.
Hate the name.
There's also a puzzle.
1,000-piece map of Gilnor. That'd be so much fun.
And
Puzzles are fun.
of course the and yeah, it's just again the RuneScape Kingdoms like thing. If you like want to try a quick start guide for it, or if you want to jump into like role playing, then they have that too.
Ooh. For any readers in your life, we have 2 standalone novels about the history of Gilnor. So The Gift of Guthix and The Fall of Hallowale. I didn't know those were standalone. I thought that was a sequel. I guess it makes sense. Never mind, they're not related at all.
Okay.
So 2 books. I do want to go read these eventually. They actually look pretty interesting. And then for the music lover.
Yeah.
Turn. That was your turn.
I mean, we've talked about this before. They have 2
Just
records.
a reminder, guys. It's almost Christmas.
These 2 records have been on sale for quite some time now, and this is the drum and bass version of the RuneScape songs, as well as the heavy metal remix of the songs.
I like that we have both. I love the art for the metal one.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And then they also have something for the cook's assistant.
Yeah, so they have the RuneScape official cookbook. I still think it'd be so fun to do this, but make it all vegan someday. That'd be cool.
Someday.
Yeah, and then like cute little merch, like they have little bottle openers.
I was about to say the
mugs.
only thing that I would ever actually consider buying here is their mugs.
Their mugs are like actually really good.
They look pretty good.
The Jolly Boar Inn, that one's really nice.
Okay. They also have some desk mats and
These are, I don't
keychains.
think those are them. I think that's them linking to Creator Crafted, surely.
Well, yeah, it is, but still, it's in their merch store.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Some cool merch. And then also we got a lot of pins, a lot of keychains, and 4 new plushies, which are bold.
They're weird.
They're
weird.
bold.
Yeah. So if you're expecting Vorkath, don't, because these ones are characters you've never seen because they're all from RS3.
Well, they're all technically in OSRS, but we don't see them. So it's like,
They're
I
all
don't
the old
recognize them.
gods.
Yeah, so it's like Zeros, Armadale, Guthix, and then whatever the red one is.
Yeah, literally all the old gods.
It's really weird because I'm like, I've heard of them obviously, but they're not in the game. So you don't know what they look like.
Yeah, but this is again from Makeship, so
Yeah,
feel free
we
to
have
check
one
them
of
out.
theirs. We have the Vorkath, and it's actually super good quality.
We do have
I would
the
actually
Vorkath.
recommend. These are not going to get as much people.
Yeah, unfortunate. The old Vorkath was pretty cool.
Dude, Bob the Cat, that was one of the best.
Bob the cat was. Vorkath was more popular. The DK, or not the DK, the
KBD.
KBD.
Both those right.
I was like, there's a K in there.
The name is literally right there, and neither of us could do it.
Yeah, KBD seems to be the most popular funded plushie of all time.
2285.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They're okay. So Armadillo, Zeros, Guthix, and Zamorak. Zamorak looks crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all come with their own special god book.
To be fair, they do look cool. They just I don't associate them with RuneScape because they don't. I've never seen them in game.
Maybe you'll like them more if you're an RS3 player.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in that game either. Probably.
I think they are.
Yeah. And then we have some more merch from Creator Crafted. Another super sick Jad key mat thing, mouse pad.
It's a mouse pad.
Mouse pad, key mat. It looks really good.
Also, what's the scuffed setup? They have a god book, a rune cross, accumulator, Carol's helmet, and top, as well as the black dragon bottoms.
Yo, honestly, average league setup for fight caves.
Yeah. No way.
Leagues, dude. Fight games took me an hour because I kept just leaving my computer because I was bored. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I just kept staying like, I'm getting a snack. I kind of want to leave.
It was funny because someone posted on the subreddit. It was like one of the more popular posts. They're like, everyone's saying that Jad's free. It's like barely a challenge now. And I'm over here with unlimited prayer and extra damage from relics. And I still get one shot.
He actually did hit me. I prayed wrong, but I survived. And it was points for surviving.
Yikes.
And then we also got some more LED lights from Creator Crafted, including some of the prayers.
I was gonna say, it's also funny about you doing the pray wrong.
Uh-huh.
Like 30% of the players have done that.
Oh, probably on purpose.
I don't know about that. That's too big of a percent.
I've done it on purpose.
I could do it now because I have 99, but doing it back then, if he decided to hit me, I would just die.
I got very lucky. He was feeling humble. He hit me for like 20.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thanks.
He could hit me for like 85 now and it not be a big deal.
I started to get more nervous because Robert was like, yeah, it's like a bunch of points to wear the cape and stuff. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Whenever I did it, I think I was like 78 health, so I don't think I could tank anything.
Yeah. I was also like 70, so I'm surprised I survived.
Yeah, that was lucky.
But I have like 45 Jad KC, and there's just something about that fight, man, that I just can't breathe when I'm there.
Yeah.
I think it's just knowing that I could one-shot you and you've wasted time.
Well, that was the first time I'd done Jad in years.
Such a long time.
Yeah, in years.
I think you did last year during leagues, but I don't think you didn't make it to Jad. You died before.
I didn't do it.
You tried to and you died because remember you got annoyed and then you didn't go back.
I don't remember, but I know I didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think you made it to Jad.
Yeah, it's been actual years.
Yeah.
But
I remember
yeah,
you were first trying to get and you ran out of Blowpipe stuff.
twice.
Today another person called and I tried to say blood pressure and I said blood pressure.
Blood pipe blow pressure.
That sounds weird.
But yeah, use code piety for 10% off all the creator crafted stuff.
Yeah, they have really cool stuff to be
Also,
fair.
this crafter has knuckle tats. That's pretty
sick.
gangster.
I want tattoos.
But that's
More.
it. That's it. Yeah, so we still have quite a few more things to go over with the Omega Giga Pole 83.
So we'll go over right now.
When you do it like that, that's lame.
Oh, fine.
I thought we were just gonna transition from when I said it. If you're like now, and then I'm like, oh, we're here. Like, come on, dude. That's
Should I keep this in?
That's like the most like YouTube version of and now, and then like you punch the camera and then it zooms out and you're like in a different country.
Robert, punch the camera and then I'll edit it like that.
You're like, open. All right, so here we are, dude.
If you're not watching on YouTube, you don't know I'm laughing. Sorry.
Totally cool and not lame.
I can't believe you actually did that.
The next day,
hey,
I'm wearing the same shirt.
Stop doing that.
And
stop it.
I have some updates before we get into the survey stuff we're about to talk about.
Full no. Okay.
Well, no, it's just a few things.
Okay.
One is I got the dog sword.
What's your KC?
I got a 50. So.
Oh yeah, it was a pity drop.
Yeah.
People think that there's a pity drop at 50. I don't know if that's confirmed.
I think there's an echo pity drop at 50. I think it's almost certain.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, I also got well, I didn't get this, but I did find this out today via Reddit. You know, surprise, surprise. Is I don't mind sharing this because one, I think this is like not an exploit. It just should be how it works.
He's about to tell us an exploit, you guys.
Well, this was like shown. I don't like doing exploits or like doing shortcuts in the game in general.
Whatever you say.
But when it comes to a skill that I don't think is engaging and it doesn't take away from other players by doing this, there's like if you have the total recall relic, which allows you to teleport back to a memory, you can use it at like a lot of people I thought you could use it at agility courses.
Yeah, you were disappointed by that.
You
It
cannot.
doesn't count as a full lap.
No, you cannot. I was at Canvas and I was like, wait, did I just have a brain blast? Shout out Jimmy Neutron. But no, didn't work. But it does work at the werewolf agility course.
Yeah.
If you like go to the very top of the hill before you do the slide with your teeth, then
It's a very funny animation, by the way.
and you save your memory up there, you get like 2,000 XP, 2 or 3,000, depending
Before
on
the multiplier?
no, during it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not a ton of XP, but compared to like other places, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's more mindless, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, running laps is still mindless.
I think the XP per hour isn't much better than Relica, but essentially you just go up to the top, slide down, and then you obviously recall back and just do that, and it's around 800k to a million XP an
Wow.
hour.
No marks of grace, though.
No marks of
And
grace.
graceful is 200 points.
Yeah, exactly.
And so is making a stamina pot's another one, too.
I just did it in order to expedite my 60 to 80. So now I'm just at Relica laps.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you hate agility like I do, like I said, I don't think it takes away from any other people's experience. And I think that's how the Relic should be. That's how I thought it was advertised.
Yeah.
So
We understood a few, or misunderstood a few relics.
yeah, if that's exploiting, then that's fine, dude. I don't care.
Your account gets deleted.
Yeah, I literally don't care. Shout out. But also, because we were talking about like things that we didn't like, because
Yes.
we don't want to seem like we only like the league.
Even though it's extremely mostly like
It is
We're
good. Shout
playing all
out
the
to the
time.
mods, because I do think
best one yet.
yeah, I think it's the best one yet. But there are a couple things that I think are problems
Ooh, okay.
or could be problems in the future. This is kind of an old problem. This first one is that I think that clue drop rate should be boosted
They are.
more,
Oh. I
because
was like, what do you mean?
we talk about this. We have conversations about this. At the end of the day, if you haven't been fishing, you don't get clues.
Oh, not the drops, not the loot, but the actual clue.
Yeah, the actual scrolls.
Yeah, honestly, it's like low-key kind of hard to get them.
Like I saw today, someone showed loot from 200 mil. They were the world first 200 mil fishing, and they had less than 20 elites.
Yeah, because whenever we first started, Robert was like, oh, I have 2 elites to do. And I was like, where are you getting elites?
Yeah.
And we're like, I was higher fishing than him. I hadn't gotten a single one.
Yeah, like
It's bizarre.
it's not good. And if you're not like doing fishing or whatever your production, or not production, but whatever your gathering skill is, like mining or whatever, you're like almost seeing none.
I wonder if that's just because, to make the other Klee relics even stronger.
I guess so.
Because I don't
But
know if it would devalue that relic.
I feel like they should just make it like even stronger then, because like the fact that there's so many points locked behind clues, I don't want to feel like I am like super gimped by not picking the clue relic.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't feel good, and this has happened in previous leagues. So I think that, and also this one might be controversial, but this is something I've noticed as you get later into the relics, and I'm sure this will obviously be exacerbated by the final relic, which I think I'm going to go specialist actually instead of guardian.
I think I'm going to Guardian. But also I saw someone doing Last Stand and it does look fun. But I don't want to do the Darox thing. So I don't know if it'd be worth.
Yeah, true. But I honestly kind of think that they should make 2 changes. But one, overall, it's to tackle the problem that I think they're making the game too easy
In leagues?
in leagues. I think they're making PVM too easy.
That's leagues, baby.
Okay, you're right. It is leagues, but the fact that people can kill Echo Soul Heredit in 20 seconds is a little bit.
That just was like crazy gamers though, no?
No, he just walks in and specs it 5 times and it dies. Like there's no he does a single step back.
Yeah.
And it's like
I think I could take on Soul.
it's
all of a
like,
sudden.
bro, that's not content. Or like someone walks, I mean, the one hitting Vorkath's not a hard boss or whatever, but it's like,
I mean, or is it the most content you've ever heard of in your life?
I guess so. The fact that you can like do 500 guaranteed damage with a Zerite crossbow is kind of like,
I need to go to Nex.
I
Just reminded me.
think it's too, and also watching you do the hard mode Tob or whatever.
The amount of mistakes that we were all making, like I was like barely paying attention, didn't even bring switches and we all still got a purple.
Yeah.
I literally forgot to bring switches. I was like, I could just bring range everything, right? I forgot about Nilos.
It's like cool, obviously, but then after like 5 KC, it's kind of like, okay, like
I
what
don't know.
are we just gonna continue to get? Are you gonna continue to get 15-second Kriara KC like you've been doing?
I might, because there's a task at 150 KC.
Yeah, exactly. There's a task, but it's like, is it still fun?
It is still kind of satisfying.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I'm sure, like, that's my point, is like eventually you're like, oh, this is cool, and then it wears off and you're like,
Well, then
oh.
you move on to something else.
But what else is there? Like I said, you're already doing hard mode top.
Oh, I mean Inferno.
People are doing that in 20
Yeah,
minutes.
but not me.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking for myself. I'm not thinking for other people.
But yeah, anyways,
I'm selfish.
I think it's too easy. I think this would be, I think if they made 2 changes, this would be way cooler. Is if they allowed people to like group for like any boss.
Like God War Dungeon.
Yeah, like
I know Megan didn't realize, and she's like, we can go God War Dungeon together, and I was like, no, we can't.
yeah, like I think it'd be cool if you could group for any boss, which would still allow you to do content earlier than normal and lessen the capability of combat masteries. I think separating combat was overall a good move, but I think they put too much into combat. It's the same as having 10 combat relics
Yeah.
alongside your other relics, which also some of them give you damage. So it's like, I think it's just too much.
Obviously, I like it.
Yeah, of course.
Duh.
I think most people like it, but I do think it's like, I think it's good in the beginning, but I think it'll wear off really fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just how Leagues is, you know, after like 3.5 or 4 weeks, everyone usually stops.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if they were going for like the like the early satisfaction, and then like they're all like, oh, people are gonna stop playing, so let's just, you know, front load all
I
of
think
it.
it's like early satisfaction, and then you're really grinding points, and it gets more like niche, you know, like
Yeah,
you're like, I need this drop, and you are killing stuff over and over again to get drops for the cape and things like that. All kinds of stuff.
yeah, I guess so. I guess it's just like, it kind of like, now that I know, like if I knew what this league was going to be going into it, I would have probably have been less excited knowing that I can do all of the content in the game with an RCB easily.
I would like to say he only watched hard mode. He didn't actually do it yet.
You don't think I could do it?
I do think you could, but
Okay.
it might be more challenging than you think.
No, I watched you guys do it. It was a joke.
You weren't there.
Yeah, okay.
I died,
Um,
so I'm not used to being ruined, or I'm not used to having crossbow at any of the fights.
Yeah, with unlimited run energy
I
against
got
Vertic.
stuck in webs.
She got stuck in webs because she was running in a corner for like 20 seconds straight.
I was like, this is weird. Like, when am I supposed to move?
Yeah.
Because I'm used to, like, you know, doing the scythe and hitting, you know, running in a circle.
Like all the tiles in the game were still not covered, and she like was within the same 10 tiles for like 20 seconds until the webs came all the way back around again, and then she got webbed.
I don't range her.
I'm just
I
saying,
don't range her.
it was easy.
It was pretty funny.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just would like there to be still some challenge in the game. I mean, I want it to be easier because that's the whole point. I get it, but
I don't know. I mean, there's still so much stuff that we haven't tried yet. There's still time. I have some updates.
yeah, not really, but yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
there is. Shut up. I, in between calls today, was doing a bunch of God War Dungeon.
Yeah.
I got all, not counting pets, obviously. I got all the pets. What did I just say? I got all the drops I needed for points from Zilliana, all the drops I need for points from Kriara, and now I'm just waiting on a Bando's top, and then I'll just go to Krill. Yeah, and also if you're on YouTube, for some reason my camera is just zoomed out like a few minutes ago. It's fine. I'll maybe crop it. But yeah, so I got a lot of points today, so I'm really excited about that. Not enough. You're still ahead of me, which is upsetting. But I
Yeah.
also got like 91 Slayers, so I could finally go to serve tonight. I think I want to finish green logging the God War dungeon before I go to serve. I'll make it like 1 KC, but
Okay.
yeah. So I've upgraded my gear and I'm very excited about it, and I just want to let everyone know.
Cool.
And the KC are so quick, I could just do Kriara in 15 seconds.
Yeah, you can. You can pretty much kill all the bosses in like
Yeah.
30 seconds.
And that was with the rune crossbow and like blessed D hide. So
Yeah.
it could obviously be better. And I'm using broad bolts.
That's embarrassing.
I'm saving my rune bolts for harder content.
Oh.
Like next.
Oh, okay. Sure. Whatever you say.
Anyway.
That's it for updates.
Yes.
We can move on to actually, one final update that I thought was interesting.
What else is on there?
Is,
He has little notes, like physical notes he took at work.
Yeah, someone like went through the leaderboard and noted that over 75,000 people got to tier 7.
What tier are we?
7.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be 8, and I was like, we need to log in.
No, yeah, 16K.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of players.
Dang. Okay. I mean, I kind of thought we were a little bit more exclusive than that, but it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, not that.
I mean, there was like
exclusive.
250,000 people playing, right?
Yeah. Plus, I feel like that's not when it drops off, but I feel like at that point you no longer have new regions. So I think getting past like 25K is different than getting past 16.
I definitely want to play at least until I have tier 8 because I've never played with Guardian before, and I think it'll be fun to mess around with.
Jardian.
Yeah, and you're probably excited to play Specialist.
Yeah, because then I can dog sword
You're like, swing, swing,
5 times.
Is it 20%?
Yeah.
Holy moly, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
and with
cool.
Total Recall, just keeping and entering over and over.
Or if I get a Zerite, that's 500 damage.
Oh my god.
Pretty
I
good.
wonder how fast you could kill Leviathan.
I don't know, but I did see someone kill. What's it called? They killed Vorkath. I think it was like 15 or 20 seconds like that.
With the Zerite?
Yeah, with the Zerite.
Not the 3-second Darox.
Well, yeah, because they don't have. Vorkath has a little bit more than 500 health.
You know what's funny is I still have not done enough barrows. I've only gotten like 2 drops.
Nice.
I only got like 5 KC. I should probably go do that. There's a lot of collection log slots related to barrows.
There
like,
is.
A lot.
I saw there's like a video like the second day of someone able to do a Barrows run with a Kopesh.
Oh, wow.
And they were able to do the whole thing in like 30 seconds.
That was you when you were just going to one boss.
Like they were just memory, run in, double spec the brother, and then like memory, and then just do that for each brother.
So funny.
And it took 30 seconds.
I just randomly remembered that at some point in the podcast yesterday, I'm pretty sure I said a bad word, and I did not notice when I was editing to bleep it out. So I'm sorry. And I don't know what it was. And also, maybe that didn't happen this week. Maybe that was last week.
Yeah, I don't think that happened this week.
Maybe last week I swore. Sorry if I swore at any point.
Nice.
I'm a little sailor.
Anyways, we can move on to the survey. So this is player support survey. And
Help shape the future, guys.
yeah, I saw a lot of people had interesting things to say about this.
We need to read it all.
Oh, okay.
We want to start. Do you want to read this first one? I feel like you'd enjoy it.
I didn't read this
Okay,
entire
then read the
thing.
first one, and I want to see your facial expressions while you read these 3 paragraphs.
Okay, well, now that I know, I'm not going to do it. So we want to start by acknowledging something important. We haven't always delivered on everything we've promised when it comes to improving player support. What's more is we've been quiet about it for far too long. That's on us. Yeah, who else would it be on? Like,
That's actually on you guys.
that's like whenever like you like look at your kid and they're like, sorry, I did this. I'm like, yeah, obviously. Who else did it? Like that poop
They're
didn't,
taking accountability.
the poop didn't just get there. Your experience in old school RuneScape matters deeply to us, and we know that includes getting quality support when it's needed, aka Twitter. We own our shortcomings, but even more importantly, we want to earn your trust through action. Wow, who wrote this? We're taking a renewed, focused approach, I've heard this before, to player support. As part of this, we're inviting you to participate in a player support survey. I heard the questions were quite repetitive,
Oh, I'm excited to read them.
and also it didn't work for a little bit.
Nice.
But yeah, so they have a little bit of a survey.
You talking about it and like just reading this reminds me of like memes of people being like going to meetings and then be like, we just sat there and talked about stuff that we're not going to do for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
That's kind of the vibe a little bit.
sounds like it.
Okay. While we've been quiet, we haven't been idle.
Sure.
Some key changes have already been made, and though there's still a lot to do, we want to highlight these areas to assure you that progress is happening. So they're hyping themselves up a little bit here. Okay.
And they're like in the corner, literally twiddling their thumbs. They're like, see, we're not doing nothing.
This one's fair. Securing your accounts. One of the biggest concerns has been account security. That's why we launched Jagex accounts, which provide industry-leading multi-factor authenticator and backup codes. Alongside this, the Jagex launcher simplifies managing multiple accounts while keeping them more secure than ever. There's still work to do here, much of which will be our focus throughout 2025. I do think it's funny that they're like patting themselves on the back so much, and they should, like it's good, whatever. But you had to start a whole new launcher for it. You couldn't just add it to how the game was.
They're like, yo, we have this MFA thing, the same thing that,
Everywhere else
World of
has.
Warcraft has been doing since 2010. We got it last year. It's crazy.
And you have to download another launcher for it, and you can never use the old launcher again.
Yo, I'm going to throw some, this is some OG knowledge. I used to have one of these.
Okay.
If you played WoW and you wanted multi-factor, this was before smartphones were a thing. You'd had to go buy and they would mail you this essentially a Google authenticator.
Did you do that?
And it was only for your account and it had a button on it. And if you wanted to multi-factor, if you wanted to authenticate your account, you'd press the button, it'd give you a random number that it synced with the server.
Oh my God.
It was like OG Google authenticator.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I know a lot of people still have theirs.
You should have kept it.
No, I mean, that was forever ago, but yeah, that's how long ago it was before digital phones is when they had authenticators.
They did say, going back to what I was talking about, how it's weird that they had to start a new launcher. They're just unable to do it because of the spaghetti code, right?
No, I think they're
old one?
just, I think they just don't have the tools to do it. I'm sure they could figure it out, but
Yeah.
I think
Hire more people for that team.
yeah, by tools I mean developers. I'm sure there's obviously 1,000,001 people that could create multi-factor authentication the way it's supposed to be done.
Would you like to read the second focus?
Yeah, so they're combating rule breaking. Sure. So real world trading continues to be a major focus. Okay.
This is so fun for me to just see your reactions and hear. It's like like a reaction video. Robert reading real life.
Yeah, this is what it's like.
Reading this player support blog.
Whenever people lie to my face, this is what I'm doing in my head.
Like, really?
We've taken significant steps. You just can't see them. We're like the boogeyman, including banning deathmatching. Wow, it only took you years after banning the last version of deathmatching to ban this version of deathmatching. That's crazy. A major avenue for illegal gold trading. This move has significantly reduced bad actors' ability to abuse the game's economy. Tackling chat spam.
So, the constant noise of advertiser bots in places like the GE has long been a pain point, and we've been testing significant improvements to our spam detection capabilities. We're aiming to launch in this in December, and we will continue to evolve and improve our systems to address issues like this. They shouldn't have said this, because they said December, and you know what that means. We're not going to get till March.
Or ever.
Just don't tell us dates.
It's highly likely it's just never going to happen.
I don't think that them proving, saying all these points is a bad thing, but I think they, what's the word? They tooted their own horn a little bit too much. And they should have just, played it, low key, more humble. They spent a little bit too much time.
They're not going to do any of these things, by the way. If anyone's listening.
They did those. Kind of.
No, if anyone is listening and is oh, that's cool, they're gonna do. No, they're not doing any of this stuff. I promise you.
They'll work on some, but I think that probably their team's not that big. I'd guess.
I'd low key be willing to bet a significant sum of money that nothing actually happens.
We'll see.
So they're committed to doing better. Okay. We know these changes don't address every concern, and we understand every concern as in you can still name yourself the N-word in the game. And we understand if you're skeptical of promises alone. And that's why...
That's to you specifically, Robert.
I mean, I've seen them make and break countless. That's why we're determined to involve you more in shaping our priorities. The player support survey. It's a vital part of that commitment. Your voice matters. And this survey is more than just a formality. It's a direct way for you to influence the future of player support. We've seen how player feedback drives meaningful change, from streamlining account recovery processes to improving the accessibility of support systems. We'll be transparent about what we learn and how we plan to act. Change won't happen overnight.
I kind of wish that they didn't do this blog.
Yeah.
I would have liked if they just did a blog being don't worry guys, we actually are working on stuff behind the scenes, but all this seems like a lot.
This entire thing
It
was,
seems a little disingenuous.
yeah, this entire thing was written by
AI.
no, I was gonna say it's written specifically by an HR AI bot.
Yeah, it's very like cordial. I don't know if that's right.
No, I feel like this was written very carefully by someone else,
Yeah, that doesn't actually work there.
not involved with the game.
I can see that. It's like the time we got laid off and they hired other people to lay us off.
Like, yeah, like this is like someone went through and like was like, oh, should we use the word we, or
Yeah.
like that's what they did here, because none of this actually is gonna happen, and it all sounds like bullshit.
I have hope that stuff will change. I don't think it's going to change as crazy as they're acting, though. You know?
I just want to pull up all the clips from the last time they interviewed the new mod that was, or he's not even a mod. He was
talking
like
about last week.
the security guy that came on, and he's all like, oh yeah, we're gonna like upgrade all these things, and
That
it's like,
poor guy's still waiting on the rest of his team to be hired.
yeah, that poor guy probably quit already.
Yeah, there is a survey. It's 30 minutes. I mean, maybe we're just being negative. I'm sure at least one person's going to be like, Rob's such a hater.
I mean, go ahead and take the survey. Everyone tells me I don't ever take their surveys because they're usually a waste of time. Let me double check. Everyone says.
How old are you?
Everyone
Why is that any of their
says
business?
that they just ask you the same questions over and over again.
Well, I'm sure, yeah. They're just going to, let's see.
This is a long thing.
They
like-
said 30 minutes. I don't think we should really go through those.
Okay.
Asking how often you play, how many characters you have, etc. What is the display name? Oh my god, they're trying to ban
What is
you.
the display name of your most
I
played
wouldn't put your
character?
display name, to
Yeah,
be
do
honest.
not do
Don't
that.
do that.
Oh, this is one thing that I thought was really weird. So in some of their questions, not just this one, they have a thing that
Smiley
like
faces.
how like good to bad ratio, and they don't do 1 through 10 like how you would expect it
They
to be.
do very unsatisfied all the way to very satisfied.
No, there's an even worse one.
Oh?
Yeah, later in the survey, I'm not going to do this whole survey.
Yeah.
Later in the survey, there's one where it's all like, it'll like, they ask you questions about like what things should be or are in the game or aren't in the game. And they're all like, oh, like you would really like to see this, or you're supposed to see it. And people are like, they're usually synonymous. Why can't I pick that it's supposed to be there and I would like to see it
That's
there?
very interesting.
Yeah, it's not like a 1 through 10 or
Yeah.
anything like that. And they do the thing again where they like combine questions.
Oh, I hate that they
as
keep
well.
doing that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
So weird.
But yeah, I saw a lot of people's primary feedback, and I don't know who couldn't agree with this. Is that sorry,
No,
but,
I just was thinking about stuff.
is that people's honestly one of the biggest, if not the biggest gripe I saw is that in order to get news or updates or information from this game, you have to go anywhere else that isn't the main website. Like everyone is like, I have to go to Twitter and Discord and Reddit if I
Yeah.
want to get news.
Because there's news posts, but they don't post everything on here.
No, there's a ton of stuff
That's why we probably miss a lot of stuff on the
Yeah.
podcast, because we mostly we Google OSRS news and go off there.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that happens in the Discord that like all the Discord stages, like those are live streams that are happening on Discord, not Twitch, and it's not advertised on their game site.
Yeah. Hire me to work on your admin team and I could take notes. But I'm
Yeah.
not a good writer, so someone will have to make notes of my notes.
I guess so. Yeah.
I just thought it was okay. The reason I just don't like that they did this, it's a lot of hyping themselves up, which you know, like do a little bit, but they kind of did too much. And that it's a blog basically saying we haven't actually done it. Just want to let you guys
Yeah.
know someday we're gonna do it.
So
I'm like, why
know.
didn't you just wait till stuff was done?
Just so you know, we're thinking about doing our job.
It was kind of
We're
weird.
thinking about it.
Again, this is not a slight on devs. I'm sure that they are given specific projects to allocate their time with. I don't think that's their active choices.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Anyway,
We have some other news, polls,
kind of cool stuff. I love polls.
things that actually usually happen eventually are
Sometimes they take a while.
polls.
The
So,
minigame one.
yeah, so we have poll 83. This is Castle Wars, new player changes, and more. This is called a jumbo edition.
It's pointing at Jumbo Edition.
Yeah, so I don't know how they got my nickname in here, but
Jumbo?
anyways, no, jumbo edition.
No, edition.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, they
They're
have,
focusing on Castle Wars this time.
yeah, it's unfortunate because going into this, I'm going to be skipping every single one of these questions.
I'm not.
I've never played Castle Wars.
I've played. It's actually pretty fun.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe you can answer them, but I've literally
I
never
thought you meant
stepped
you're
foot
not
in
going to
them.
read them on the podcast. I was like, we can't just skip the question.
No, on the voting. Well, I don't
Don't act
vote.
like you were going to vote.
Yeah, I never vote. But
I
even
think
if
you've
I
only
were
voted on like
to,
the new skill one. That's like the only time.
yeah, and then I saw how they handled that, so I was like, why would I ever vote again?
The shamanism was so close. Why wouldn't they redo it?
It was
Whatever.
less than a percent.
So close.
Um,
It keeps freezing me, making the dumbest faces.
but yeah, so we have Castle Wars stuff. So these are all of these next ones are going to be Castle Wars. There's additional stuff after this. So if you like me haven't played, then you can skip ahead.
Okay, so first step, Castle Wars themed world changes. That's such a thing. The key issue here is that unless you're one defense pure or a collection log enthusiast, there's no real reason to hang out in Castle Wars these days. True, I only want to go for that reason.
Okay.
To make Castle Wars a bit more attractive again, we're adding Soul Wars style reward crates to the mix. Make no mistake, this loot table will be much less powerful than the one at Soul Wars, focusing on runes, ammos, and consumables, including blight supplies, rather than skilling supplies or alchables. Should this change past the poll, reward crates will be earned using a separate point system from the existing Castle Wars ticket, so you'll still be able to fill out the collection log of yours. That's like a pretty decent question. You know, they didn't do any of the 3 questions in one.
Yeah, it's an okay question.
And I think that's actually a good idea.
Someone did like raise a concern that I saw on Reddit, and they're like, they were wondering like why would blighted supplies come from here?
Because it's a PKing minigame.
I guess
So you could take it to the wilderness.
But it seemed like quite a few people kind of shared a sentiment that like it should more come from like, I don't know, like more wilderness stuff.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get anyone and everyone into the game. So they're like, PKers, come on. We'll give you guys supplies.
Yeah, it's
Also,
so,
I mean, to be
so
fair,
weird.
blight supplies are actually really good for the bosses. I never used them, but I've started to recently, and they're actually pretty decent.
Yeah, okay.
But thoughts? I like it.
I think it's cool. They definitely,
Because right now it's only collection log. You get nothing else.
I don't know. Okay,
I think.
not just this game mode. I don't ever want to see a Soul Wars style loot table introduced into the game ever again.
Because it's so busted.
Yes.
It's really good. I like how they specify not Soul Wars.
Like the loot table for Soul Wars is,
Sorry, that person's name next to me in game is Glasshole.
that's true, is yeah, like why are you even allowed to type the letters ASS next to each other in the game at all?
It's a funny name, but it is crazy the names people can get away with.
Insane. But yeah, Soul Wars has one of the most insanely broken
It's really
loot tables of all
good.
time.
It's super good.
It's really, really crazy. So
I did like 2 of them in leagues, and it was like crazy drops.
yeah, it's like, oh, I did 2. Well, I got like a rune drop, a dragon drop, 4,000 essence, 200
Struggle on
soul
essence.
runes, and like 500 deaths. Like it's insane.
Yeah, it's a good thing they're not going to do that much.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I guess as long as it's not crazy.
All right, next question. If you would like to read this one,
Yeah, so this one is going to be for.
well, you have to read the paragraph.
Yeah, I was going to.
Oh.
So the follow-up question is going to be, won't people just stack a bunch of players on one team and win and boost for crates? And you're right. So to make things,
They likely will.
yeah, to make things more fair, they propose only offering the Gothixian green portal on Castle Wars themed worlds so that teams can remain balanced. I don't know what this means.
So the way you do it now, you can go into different portals, and it'll like basically you're on that team. So everyone could just go into one room and have a completely stacked team against a bunch of alts
Okay.
and just kill them all.
I mean, I think that could happen anyways, but
Yeah, but it'd be harder because if you go into the Gothixian, you don't know where you're gonna go. It just splits you up random.
no, I mean, this is exactly what they do in this
Soul
is
Wars?
literally exactly what they do in Soul Wars.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't prevent anything.
I think it would help. I actually thought the same thing whenever I tried Castle Wars a few times. I was like, oh, I kind of wish that everyone had random teams. Seemed
Yeah.
like it'd be more fun. But I also get that they're afraid that people will be afraid to be split up by their friends. Split up from their friends. Their friends are going to split them up. So I get that. I could see them being like, you can stay with your friends, but those aren't going to be reward worlds. You know, those are just Like not crate worlds, rather. They're just gonna be regular worlds.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
I like that. I think it'd be cool to split everyone up.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, you haven't played, so you don't know.
Well, I don't know what the answer is because it seems abusable either way, so it almost doesn't matter, it seems,
You wouldn't get
to
it.
me. The next one.
So while we're adding a swanky new reward system, it's only fair that we give Castle War tickets a little boost too. We're proposing that games on Castle War themed worlds grant an additional ticket, win or lose. Our reasoning here is similar to the change we made to Trouble Brewing recently. We don't mind people AFKing their tickets if they like, but giving players a more active alternative for a quicker grind is always a good choice. Obviously, I'm voting yes.
Yeah.
It's such a long grind. I think I've only unlocked one thing there.
This is also exactly how Soul Wars works.
I mean, Soul Wars is very popular. They're definitely taking notes.
Yeah. I also don't know if it's because of the game itself, is my point.
Yeah.
So no Castle Wars themed world.
Non-castle. No Castle Wars.
There is a no in there. So non-Castle War themed world changes. So these are for all the other worlds. So they say that Castle Wars is 20 years old. It's actually 20 years old, I think, like today or
happy birthday, Castle
yesterday
Wars.
or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Cute.
The active Castle Wars community has been playing the minigame for quite a while. But before you decide to vote, we'd like to look at some of these asks in greater detail. So they have some more changes, like I said, for non-themed worlds. So up first, we have a change that will allow players to place barricades directly in front of the respawn barriers. Just like the old days, this may sound scary, but you can just run around the long way so you can't actually get trapped in your base.
Couldn't they just put it the other one? There's 2 doors.
No, I guess I can't put it at the back one, I guess.
I've only played it for like 2 hours total.
Yeah. So they're just asking if people want to be able to place respawn barriers, and this will mirror behavior from 2008.
And this will be in the non-Castle War worlds.
Yes.
So the other worlds will still have it. Next question. Similarly, we'd like to make some mapping changes to mirror the terrain, which we originally made in 2008. In practice, this means adding some tiny walls next to the ladder and a staircase outside the spawn room. These add further tactical barricade options, whether you're blocking off a flag thief or holding off players chasing you down. You can still hit over those barriers with range, magic, or halberds, but you're on the attack. You'll need to think carefully about whether blocking on pursuers is worth blocking yourself in. So should they add the terrain as described to the non-Castle War themed worlds? And there's a little picture where they'd add stuff.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. And also...
all these are very niche questions that I don't have opinions on, just to be clear.
Yes,
This is more like the passionate players want this.
This next one is... I mean, at least I know what this does. Is so... It's honestly, the question in and of itself is pretty explanatory. So they are saying that on worlds that aren't Castle War themed, should we restore the original functionality of the D Spear, which is a knockback stun, and the Zamaraki and Hosta special attack, which I don't remember what it is.
It doesn't even say.
Yeah, because I don't even use it. No one, I don't think, uses it.
I'm trying to get it in for leagues.
Yeah. This is to mirror old behavior from 2016.
That is at the request of the Castle Wars community, by the way.
By the way.
So
they're like trying to bribe you into like voting yes for no reason.
I think that they're more so like people are gonna be like, who cares? And they're like, we don't care. It's the Castle Wars. Blame them, not us.
I know. It's like, okay.
All right. This is basic question. Doesn't need an explanation. Should we allow players to wear their own helmets inside Castle Wars on all worlds?
Yeah, this does mean that you will be able to complete your Barrows sets and use Barrows sets.
I never thought about you
Wars.
can't wear barrows in Castle Wars. That's nuts.
Yeah, so this will be easier to spot which teams someone is on, as well as completing sets.
Yeah, you already, before it was you have a cape and a helmet, so you just have a cape now.
Yeah. The next one is going to be, so they covered defense, but it's safe to say that offense has crept up consistently over the last 20 years. Yep. And despite this, the bandages in the spawn area still heal minimal amounts, and they want to fix that. So they want it to heal as much as an equivalent to an angler fish. And keep in mind that when used with the Castle Wars bracelet, will cap overhealing at the usual value, no sitting at 135 HP.
I think I like that. I don't know. Tell me if it's bad. Sometimes I like stuff, and then I find out everyone in the community is like, this is the worst. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I have no opinions.
I don't know. We're also boosting the Humble Castle Wars Brew. These potent potions currently act as a super combat potion, a range potion, and an imbued heart all at once, which is pretty good. However, when it comes to run energy or prayer pots, you're still relying on your own supply. We don't want players burning through their cash stacks just playing minigames, so we want to give the Castle Wars Brew the benefits of a super restore and a stamina on top of its existing effect. That seems like a no-brainer. Yeah, do it to
Sounds
me.
like Soul Wars. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know why you would have to bring anything into minigames.
Then they move on to say you may remember feeling awestruck in the sight of high-level players firing off ice barrages in the mid-2000s.
That's how I feel still. When someone's shooting at me, I'm like, ah.
To stop you using this for free magic XP, we'll be offering fake XP drops. So they're proposing unlimited LMS-style rune pouches provided on entry with unlimited runes. And so you won't be getting XP in these in Castle Wars.
But you won't be wasting your runes.
Yeah, you won't be wasting your own runes, but they are going to be giving you XP drops that are fake just so that you can know if your freeze has or hasn't hit.
Kind of like Barbarian Assault. They will say they're looking at allowing players to bring their own runes and gain XP for making the extra effort, which I think that they should do. I don't think they should make it Barbarian style and no one gets XP. If you bring your own runes, sure, you should get XP.
Sure.
Perhaps the most impactful change they're proposing here is more buckets. The respawn timer. Well, sometimes you're stuck in the room and you really have to go to the bathroom, Robert.
Okay.
You wouldn't get it. The respawn timer for these all-important items means many Castle War players are left distraught and bucketless. We'd like to convert... That would be a good episode name, future me. Distraught and bucketless.
Okay.
We'd like to convert the traditional spawn to an unlimited pile of buckets so everyone can have a bucket of their own. We're sure this will lead to a heated debate, so I'll let you to hash it out amongst yourself. Should they give you unlimited buckets?
Big buckets.
Big buckets.
The next one is going to be about the bracelets. Honestly,
I don't know the bracelets.
I'm just going to ask the question because I don't even...
Well, the question says as described in the blog.
Well, I mean...
You have to read it.
Oh,
you have to.
I don't even know what these bracelets
Me either.
do.
I thought they were
well,
just
at least
telly.
they explain exactly what they do right here.
We're just bad readers.
I still don't know the significance of it. So if you're wearing one of the bracelets, these are Castle Wars bracelets. At the start of the game, you deal an extra 20% damage to any player carrying a flag and receive 50% more healing from bandages.
Wow. Okay.
Once the game starts, you're free to swap it out for another glove item, which means they often get destroyed immediately to make room for more bandages, brews, buckets, brigades, and brews again.
I hate that they did that.
We're proposing a trade-in option at Lanthus where you can store charges from the Castle Wars bracelets and gain the buff without ever equipping the bracelets. So you can just make 1,000,000 bracelets and bring them over and then trade in the charges instead of breaking your bracelets.
That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Finally, a proposal we're really keen to hear feedback on, especially from the Castle Wars community.
They weren't keen to hear about the other ones.
Yeah, they hate us. Currently, teams can have a maximum of 10 barricades down at any time, which means any mischievous or misinformed teammates can grieve you by popping all 10 of them down in a useless location. Yeah, that's happened. We'd like the experiment and allow each player to place up to 3 every 5 minutes. We're really interested to hear thoughts on how best to implement this, but here's what we're thinking. So you place a barricade, a 5-minute timer begins. You can place 2 more within this timer. If your barrier is destroyed, you can place another one. Once the timer expires, you'll be able to start placing them again and repeat this process. I don't know. Because it sucks that people could waste it, but also like 5 minutes, the games aren't even that long. But people really can't just waste it.
I don't know.
Let the other team
I don't
win.
know how this game works, but I just feel like...
You're trying to keep it from getting your flag. It's captured
No,
flag.
I was just going to say that I feel like this would make some people... I mean, whether it's fun or not, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're trying, then there's that aspect of like, who cares if it's fun, just win. But it just sounds like there's going to be people that are going to be like, you know, kind of allocated to just permanently do these barricade things.
Well, if you can only do it every 5 minutes, that kind of changes it, I guess, in a good way. It makes it so you'll be able to go and do other stuff. You're not the barrier guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe.
There's always a barrier guy, though.
Yeah.
Moving on from Castle Wars, some cool little things is new player quality of life and UX improvements. I don't know what UX even means.
User experience.
Oh, user experience. Okay, cool.
It's usually combined with UI, but not in this case.
I really like this first idea.
I think this first idea isn't bad, but I don't think it's as good as they think it is.
Oh, I think it's really good.
So this is crabs.
We're talking about crabs, guys. Be they sand, swamp, rock, or ammonite varieties, crabs are a staple of low-effort combat training. While word of mouth has done wonders for these little shellfish, there's no clear in-game introduction to this popular training method. We propose adding crabs to the Slayer task list of Maskna, Banaka, and Shelder. I hate this. 3 of the easiest ones, so that new players can receive handy tips and learn how efficient they are. Turiel is missing from this list since we don't want this change to impact Turiel skipping, and locking crabs behind Slayer points would defeat the object. It's fairly speedy to move up to other Slayer masters, and giving players the opportunity to gear up should help them blitz through these tasks. Crab tasks are non-specific, so you'll be able to choose your favorite kind. So this aims to introduce players to crabs as a training method without relying on out-of-game resources. The reason I love this is because, do you not remember that I didn't know crabs were a thing?
No,
and you said it. No, I didn't know for years.
Yeah, I don't.
I went to Nightmare Zone. I thought that was the best way to train.
I mean, it still is.
It is, but I didn't even know crabs were an option. And the first time people mentioned crabs, I didn't know that they were on Fossil Island either. So I went to random crabs in Relica, and I was like, I don't even get this. This isn't even that cool. It's not even that AFK.
Yeah, you could do it there.
You can, but it's not as AFK. So I really, really like this idea.
Well, I mean,
hate stuff that you could only hear out word of mouth.
That's the thing. It's actually kind of ironic and hilarious that you had that anecdote, because they're saying that they want to introduce it this way so that people will naturally figure out that these AFK mobs are how most people train combat. But just like you said, this is to make it so that people know that they exist and aren't going to the wiki, but this would actually make people do exactly that.
Go to the wiki and be like, well, which crab's best?
They're going to be like, I've been killing one ammonite crab on Fossil Island repeatedly. This task sucks. And then they look it up and they're like, oh, you can kill them by the dozens other places.
Yeah. I don't know. I think mostly, though, it's a good change.
I guess so. I don't think...
It kind of makes sense that they'd be a...
That's what I'm saying. I don't really care about this change, but also it's definitely not as good as they make it out to be.
And they also have to do this because weren't they talking about a crab boss? So that means that eventually we'll have crab task to go to the crab boss.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the crab boss.
Also, I hate that they account for Tyrell skipping, because I think it's one of the worst mechanics in the game.
Really? I love Tyrell skipping. Oh, wait, not the point. Okay, I'm thinking point boosting.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
No, point boosting is different. Turiel skipping means you lose all your points to skip a task.
Yeah.
Turiel point boosting, you do every task he gives you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess so. They are.
I was like,
different.
I've done a lot of tasks from him. This is different.
Okay.
This means that you do one task from him and you skip something.
Either way, I don't like either mechanic. I like point boosting much less, but either way, they're both interactions with Tyrell.
Okay.
Yeah, I think both of those are pretty archaic and dumb and not good for the skill in general. But overall, this is okay, I guess. Like I said, it's just not as cool as they think it is.
I like it.
This next one is that's the only question, is if they should add crabs.
Yeah, this is just miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah, the next ones are all going to be just changes to the game.
Ooh, there's another one I really like that I forgot about.
This one I think should have been in the game for a really long time, and they said it's going to help newer players, but it's probably going to help older players too, because this isn't something you just know. So this is going to be prayer drain rate indicators, and it's just going to show how much prayer drain each of the prayers have whenever you hover over it.
Yeah, because I kind of I don't know. I still don't know, actually, even with 99 prayers. So I'll test it and I'll turn all my prayers and be like, okay, how much time I have on there? Okay, cool.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, if you turn on your prayer and then look at your...
hover over that button.
Hover over your quick prayer. I don't know if this is a rune light thing or not. If you hover over your quick prayer, it'll show you how many minutes or seconds you have until you're drained. So if you go to a normal setup at Firewatch Sentinels to AFK them, you can...
I get 7 minutes.
Yeah, you can overhead for 7 minutes. And you don't know that unless you look up the exact drain rate and then do the division required, which is crazy.
And knowing the drain rate is actually pretty important if you want to AFK stuff.
Yeah, so it's just...
That's a good one.
Yeah, it should be in the game.
Okay, so skill interface summaries. Another piece of missing information is what all those skills you're training actually do. If you click your stats tab and open up the hit points interface, you'll learn what happens when you reach 0 and what all the different hit spots mean, but there's no information for other skills. I didn't even know who told you what all the hit spots mean, to be honest. While it might seem obvious what some of them do, the same isn't true for attacker strength. Why don't range and magic have their own strength strat? How do you start farming? You get the gist. Starting farming's the worst. Leaves has reminded me I hate starting farming.
It's not that bad.
I was raking leaves.
I know. I saw someone else complaining about them. Like, you literally plant a single tree and you can
And then
make
it
prayer
dies.
potions. So
For each skill, we want to provide a brief breakdown of everything they do and cover the fundamental information players need to get training. If you have any ideas of what we should include in these guides, feel free to let us know. Next one's the one that we were both excited about.
yeah, so they're gonna make it so that on the world map, they're going to have the name of the fairy rings next to their icons.
If you don't know now, it has like a little list on the side, but I swear to God, it does not list everything.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And it's like, oh, cool. Gotta go on the wiki to figure out what this fairy ring code is. Or to try to memorize it. Robert literally asked me yesterday on the phone to look up a fairy ring code for him.
Yeah, I knew it was something with a D, but it's DKP.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Love
pretty
that
cool.
one.
The next is going to be default settings. This is going to be primarily for actually brand new players, because
Mm-hmm.
whenever you brand new start up the game for the first time, they have default settings.
Yeah.
If this is just you making another account or something, then you'll still have the settings from last time, so this doesn't really matter to you. And this is going to be things like ammo and rune pickup, because it doesn't really automatically interact the way you would hope it does.
Yeah, you could
being-
go talk to the range and magic tutor about it, but like, I don't think a lot of new players actually go to the tutors.
No.
Weirdly, you'd think that they would, but they don't.
Well, yeah, most people don't even know that the tutors actually give you free ammo and stuff like
They have
that.
free ammo, by the way, if you didn't know.
But yeah, so it's just going to make it so that they'll change it so the ammo and rune pickup work how the advanced setting it allows it to work, so that it just automatically stacks on your ammo piles, kind of how you'd hope it would. And also, if you're thinking of a particular option for a certain group of players, then also to let them know.
Yeah. Those last like 4, I don't know if they're actually getting pulled. They weren't pulled questions.
No, they're just getting put into the game.
So the only one that was pulled in this section was what?
Was the crowds.
Oh, the crafts. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, more miscellaneous changes. Always our favorites.
Yeah, these are also all getting pulled.
Oh yeah, back to polls. Kind of wish that they would just done it differently.
Yeah.
So this one is about forestry. It is not big forestry. It's not forestry part 3. They're proposing 2 adjustments. If it doesn't feel like we're going far enough, then we'll make further tweaks, but we believe the following changes combined should improve your quality of life while hunting for forestry events. So increase event frequency by 20% by reducing the average time between event spawns from 100 ticks to 80 ticks. Agree or disagree? Do you want it?
No, both of these are good.
Okay. Increase the radius at which you're eligible for forestry events by 50% from 20 tiles to 30 tiles. I've actually had that happen in leagues where I was too far away, and I'm like, oh, that actually does kind of suck.
I think someone
By the
on
way, still haven't chopped roots yet.
yeah,
Still haven't.
I did, but it didn't
looking for
complete
them.
for me.
I didn't count.
At least I don't think it
Weird.
did. I kind of agree with what someone on Reddit said, and they said that you should just remove the radius.
What did they do that? They did that so people wouldn't be hopping worlds.
The thing is, they still hop worlds.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So it's like, it sucks when you like exactly how I'm sure almost everyone experienced this in leagues, is like you're at the drainer bank, you see that there's a thing next to willows when you are running back to the willows, and you participate and you get like nothing.
Yeah.
So
We've
it's
all
like,
been there.
yeah, it doesn't feel fun.
It's funny because I feel like this blog is specifically because a lot of people are doing forest shooting leagues and they're like, wait a second.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I guess, a cool improvement. It's a good improvement, but yeah, I don't know if they should completely remove the radius, but
I think just making it bigger is
I think it
good.
should be bigger than this for sure.
Yeah. Next up, I also like both those, obviously. Rune pouch adjustments. So they want to make some UI touch-ups for the rune pouch interface, which would dramatically reduce the need for right-clicking, long pressing, or setting up menu entry overrides. They just have like a little picture of it. It looks kind of weird, but I don't know. It looked weird the first time, and I'm already used to it again. So there's like handy little buttons like 1, 5, X, and all stuff like that. Potentially, let's make it easier. They will not be pulling this. We will just be getting this.
Cool.
It looks fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
Back to another polling question because we're all over the place.
Oh, another thing.
I don't know why they didn't just do all the polls together.
I mean, I guess they just grouped it.
Yeah,
instead of-
maybe by similar vibes. Well, no, 'cause
So
we already had a Slayer question earlier.
yeah, so this is the Slayer Cape effect at Konar specifically. So this is to change it so that for anyone that doesn't know, Konar will give you tasks at locations. So they're saying how it is now is currently if you have the Slayer Cape, there's a chance that it procs whenever you get a new task, which is just the same as your last task.
People use it to like grind stuff that they like.
Yeah, like if you like want to like
Do Hydra.
blast out a Jad, if you're trying to farm the pet, then you can just get another Jad maybe.
Click the genie for me. Thank you.
And so in that same regard, Konar will give you tasks in certain areas. So for instance, you can get like a Dagonoth King's Lighthouse or a Dagonoth Lighthouse task, which is a really good XP task. And then you can get another one at like if your cape procs, you can get a Dagonoth water birth task, which sucks.
Yeah, for some reason, Konar would give you different locations.
Yeah.
Which kind of made no sense. I didn't even know it was a thing. So this is an easy, obviously added this to the game.
Well, yeah. So the question is, should they make it so that if your cape procs at Konar, it gives you the same location as your last task, as well as the same task?
I did think that this note was funny though. They said, unfortunately, we can't fix your awful RNG as a quality of life change, so the cape's effect will still never proc on tasks you actually want. It's never. I always use it whenever I have Jad tasks because I want that pet, and it never works.
Do you think it'd be cooler or less cool if you could guarantee a back-to-back task once per day?
Maybe less cool, to be honest. People would find a way to exploit it.
What? How?
I don't know. They would find a way. People always find a way.
I was just thinking it'd be cool because then it's like, oh, I got home. I want to blast out this task. I like this task. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, all right, hopefully I get the RNG for this task. And it's like you go all day and you don't get a good RNG task.
Maybe? I don't know. I'd have to think about it because that's just like part of Slayer.
I think the Slayer Cape effect sucks.
But that would also keep people from Turiel skipping, which is a pain. Because people are always telling me to Turiel skip, but you lose your streak. And I really like my streak. So that's why I don't do it.
Like I said, one of the worst aspects of this.
Okay, maybe I would like that then because then people wouldn't have to Turiel skip.
Yeah, and it's only once a day, so it's not like you're getting tons of XP. It'd just be like, oh,
you even get a free Zulrah death.
I want to have a good time for the next hour and a half. Let me just double this task.
Yeah, and it would be a 99 Slayer anyway.
Yeah,
that's fine then. So then you could grind the pet bosses too.
Okay.
I like it. I've changed my mind.
I don't know if it's a good thing. I just literally thought of that just now. But you
sold me on it.
I think the cape as it is now sucks. It's one of the worst capes in the game, in my opinion.
I even forget that the proc works because it never works.
Yeah. The next one is Tithe Farm.
Yeah, so they wanted to include the addition of herb boxes and more Beloga's blessings. Baloney's blessings.
Yep.
Two things stand out to us in light of these changes. Tithe Farm rewards herbs but no seeds, and the interface you use to purchase these rewards is a little quirky. We're modernizing the interface and adding the option to buy seed packs using your Tithe points. They're equivalent to a tier 3 seed pack from farming contracts, which are actually like pretty decent. And you also have a 1 in 90 chance at getting a white lily seed, giving you an alternative to Spori if you're looking to stock up. So question 3, should they add seed packs as a purchasable? And again, I feel like they should have added the white lily question separately, but it's together.
Yeah, they definitely should have.
They really do group these things together too much.
Yeah.
I like it, and I think yes, but I also am like, why isn't this 2 questions?
I would vote no because of the white lily part.
Really?
Yes.
You think we should have to do Spori?
No, I think that it pollutes the pool for no reason. I don't want the white lily.
You can't buy white lilies, can you?
No, you can only get them from Hespori.
Yeah.
And for anyone that doesn't know,
I think you get them from farming contracts too. I think. I'm not 100%, but I think.
Maybe. I thought they only came from Hespori. But either way, for anyone that doesn't know, the white lily seed, what it does is you plant it in the flower and all of the things around it are now immune to dying. So it's pretty good. But
it's very good. I always
the thing is, you get one and you're good, brother. Like, I don't need it to be in every pack I get forever.
I mean, you get one, you're good for 3 days until it dies. No, white lily doesn't die.
It doesn't die.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want it to pollute my tier 3 seed pack.
That makes sense. Yeah, it should be a little bit more like
so elite. If they didn't combine these, then I would vote yes.
Interesting.
It's really dumb.
Anyway, in other farming news.
Wow.
In other farming news, they're adding a last contract option to Guildmaster Jane's Farming Guild. Easy. That one I actually really like because you have to talk to her a lot and it's very easy to misclick stuff. So that's a little change that they're not pulling and we'll just be adding.
and they have some hunter changes. These
I
are
like some of these.
all, yeah, just like quality of life trap resetting ones. So they're asking if they should make it so that net traps automatically reset similar to box traps. It'll be slower than manual, similar to box traps.
I am so happy about that because I so many times when doing hunter contracts thought they're automatic and I would just click it and then just be watching my show and then look over and be like, dang it. And like literally my net and rope would have expired on the ground
Yeah.
before I could reset it.
This next one is, should birdhouses automatically rebuild once dismantled if you have all the required items?
I'm not
And,
sure about that one.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of don't like this one.
Because you might not want to.
Yeah.
Because you could like have like, you know, like ultimates or some accounts it's hard for them to get redwoods. You have to like go to Shades of Morin. And like, what if you accidentally build
I was about to say
a birdhouse?
or
Like
maybe you're like, oh, I'm using different seeds. I don't want to use these ones. Or what if it, just so you know, it can use a full stack of 10 Renars.
I would throw up if it did that.
So it's like,
that would be so sad.
yeah. So I would probably just say no. It's not difficult to click
I'd say no.
the 2 clicks required to do it.
Maybe instead though, you could just re-click it and it will automatically do it again. But I don't think it should like automatically build it. I think you should have to click something. Maybe not the 2 clicks of being like what's it called? The clockwork on the logs and then clicking back on the stand. Maybe just click the stand again.
Yeah, this wouldn't automatically feed your birdhouse. It would just build it. But
So it wouldn't just use your seeds.
or I don't think so. It doesn't say feed the house or anything like that. But I still, for the same reason, like it's like if I happen to have a yew in my bag or a mahogany or in my bag, I don't want it to use that if I was going for magics.
Yeah. Or like you're just doing a quick birdhouse run on your way to do a quest that you finally got all these logs and
Yeah,
you just
like-
use them.
It's nice,
Especially
but also
if you're low level, it's hard to get some.
It's so simple that it's not like that nice. Like it really wouldn't help.
I like the idea that I said where you could just click the stand again and it will build it for you. So then you still have to click.
I
And
think
if you make an accident, you make
I
an
think
accident.
if you right click and it has a build again option,
And then you can just menu entry swap it if you want.
that would be fine.
Yeah. Should
The last one.
should players be able to hand in duplicate hunter rumor uniques for additional loot sacks?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean you already have it at Winter Talk and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's kind of how it is with Spirit Seeds at the Farming
Honestly,
Guild.
everything should be like that. Like heads and stuff, like Borkath heads. You should be able to trade in for, I don't know, like something not that crazy, but something so having useless stacks of stuff like that in your inventory is really lame.
They high alch 30k.
Oh, I should highlight my Borkath heads.
So like I don't know.
Okay.
Next thing is gonna be enchanting jewelry.
Well, did you read it? This one's, I like it.
Yeah, I did read it. So this is trying to make things more consistent. For example, offering bones on an altar now always pulls from the top of your inventory rather than the slot that you just clicked. And this is obviously really good because then you can maneuver your
Spam click at the
camera in
altar.
such a way so you can just easily go back and forth.
Yeah,
And they want to do that to enchanting jewelry.
I vote yes.
Yeah,
Pull
so
from the first.
yeah, it does the same thing. So of course, if you're taking a more relaxed approach, then you can just let the spell do its thing. But if you want to manually cast, it'll be quicker.
Yeah, I like that. Because I do hate whenever I'm like, I have the opposite where I'm just like, I'll actually start at the bottom and then I don't even try to do it quickly. I just don't realize that I have like 5 more at the top and I leave. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't even chant these.
Yeah.
That's actually happened to me yesterday.
It's
in
funny
Leagues.
because I guess this is an improvement, but also I don't know. I don't really care, but
Yeah.
it's like kind of funny because like I think it's really good for bones at altars because
So good
you
for
do that really fast.
Well, I guess people could do that really quick with this too.
Isn't
High
that?
Elking does it too.
There's a casting animation though.
Yeah, but you can still be quicker than if you let manually do it. There's a pause.
I guess.
Well, it's kind of like bones. There's always a little pause.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying like same thing with high alchemy. Like the pause in between each cast is so long. I'm not like furiously clicking back and forth and need to maneuver my menu in such a way.
People are.
So it's
People
like-
go hard.
No, like you literally can't. Like it's blocked by the game. Like
But
there's
they'll
an
find a way
animation.
to be speedy.
Okay, I mean, yeah,
I
whatever.
like it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can do it. It's just I feel like it's zero impact and change.
The next one I also really like. Robert didn't understand the use, but if you know, you know. So this is Explorer Ring Alchemy Improvements. Should we adjust the Explorer's Ring so that you can use items on it to alchemize them, assuming you have charges available? You don't know now. You have to go through many many options in order to alch something. And like I do it all the time at Scurrius, and it can be very frustrating if like a little rat comes and hits me, or if I don't have time in between KC.
Yeah.
So if you know, this is really good. Oh yes.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
He didn't realize that like I use it mid boss. He was like, why would you need that? And I was like, I do it all the time. I've been doing it at Godward Dungeon.
It's fine. I just don't know why they don't like make it so it's not in a menu that is in like a text dialog box, which that's where it is.
I did change my menu entry swapper, so now at least whenever I click my ring, I click function, and then I click alch, and then I click the item. So it's a little bit less.
It should just be shift click your ring, which should automatically change it to high alch, and then you can click on the item.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't know why there's these menus anyways.
I like this one.
Yeah, this is fine, but it's just like going about it in such a weird way.
I like it. You want to read this one?
Yeah, so this is probably the biggest one in my opinion. I actually don't even think it's an opinion. So these are chromium ingot changes. So like maybe they made this change for me. Who knows?
You don't even have any chromium ingots.
No, but I complained.
But someday I will.
I complained about this exact thing though.
You did. I remember because I never remember how they work because I don't go to the DT2 bosses that much.
Yeah, so this is only a real problem for Iron Man because regular players can just buy these.
Iron split.
Chromium ingots have an incredibly low drop rate, and you need many of them.
And they're not valuable.
They are not. So you need them in order to make the rings and stuff like that. So these are from the DT2 bosses. And so previously this was suggested last time they spoke about it. You just talk to an NPC and then they give you an ingot for whatever. And I was like, that's really lame because I mean, there's 23 skills in the game. You can't use one of them to make the ingots.
They even say it didn't feel particularly thematic. It's not you just talk to someone, you're like, give me it.
Same thing with like your shield. You're like, oh, take this shield. I'm like, you don't have a crafting skill? Like what?
The way that they describe it makes it sound like it could be like a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, so anyways, they took that to heart, I guess, because now there's a little bit of a system
Very
for this.
thematic.
So you learned about the chromium ingots from somewhere in Lasar City,
a ghost
Undercity, and you have to bring in 40 adamant bars as well as 40 runite bars. The blast furnace foreman, he'll give you secret access after you pay him 170 grand. 85 smithing is the requirement, and then once you do all that, then you can get however many ingots you want. You just put in the adamant and the runite that's required, and then the blast furnace will give you your ingots.
It's a private blast furnace.
Yes, private show blast furnace, and you'll also get some smithing XP. It's the cheapest it could ever be based on high alchs is 750k.
Which is a lot more than the GE, but cheap if you're an iron.
Oh, I would definitely.
What are you doing?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to spend your money on? Like Death's Coffer more?
True.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a no-brainer. Yes to you.
Yeah, I would definitely choose yes.
Cool. Next up, weapon-specific prayer penetration adjustments.
This one's
We've all been
crazy.
waiting on this.
This one's crazy.
Okay, some weapons and set effects come with the promise of ignoring your opponent's prayer, allowing you to cut down even the most devout foes. In actuality, this doesn't happen often in PvM scenarios and hasn't been possible to implement due to technical restraints. While we were developing While Gothic Sleeps, we took the opportunity to refactor some of our script to make prayer penetration feasible. That means that the D-Sword, the Ancient Mace, and the Complete Varric set can finally actually do what they claim. In the long term, this change could open up a new reward space and opportunities to add new layers to PvM encounters. With that in mind, we want to run it by you first. Should we implement prayer penetration on the D-Sword, Ancient Mace, and Varric's armor set? This change is aimed at future ward space, more at future ward space than existing meta shakeups.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, because they're literally described as doing that. Should we make them as they've been described for years? Yes. I feel like you don't have to pull that. I feel like that's one of those things where you'd be like, oh my god, you guys, we just discovered a bug.
Yeah, someone was also made a post that got kind of popular, and they're like, why are we pulling bug fixes?
Yeah,
But,
that's just a bug fix. I get it's been a thing for a long time, but
yeah, I was like, that was the only real point that people made, is that this has been in the game since the dawn of time. So
I didn't even realize that there was a bug. I just assumed that they would have worked.
also, it's funny
Pretty
how many
funny.
people didn't know that the overheads at KQ aren't real.
They're not. She is stronger against them. But if
Yeah.
you have a shadow, you don't have to switch. I
Yeah.
never I just bring a shadow.
Yeah, it's really weird.
If you don't have good gear though, you should probably still switch. You
Yeah.
hit harder.
Also, yeah, this is definitely not a meta shakeup. You're not going to bring Varix to go to Akka.
I mean, I might now.
That's never going to happen. So, I mean, you might bring
This is just obvious.
you might bring an ancient mace or a D sword. It's probably more likely, but yeah, that's definitely not.
I guess people might bring
much.
these to the wilderness.
Yeah, D sword maybe.
Yeah, but if they have a Void Waker, they're just gonna bring their Void Waker.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, overall, mostly impressed with these questions.
yeah. There's a lot.
Pleasantly surprised. There was a lot of them, but I think I liked most of them.
That's
Any
it,
other
though.
thoughts for you?
No, we can probably move on.
Okay, we can move on to our
There's
Q&A.
there's a lot of poll stuff, a lot of which I didn't
Are
really
you just
care
feeling a little
about.
overwhelmed about all the polls?
Oh, just a lot of it I didn't care about.
All right. So first question is not even RuneScape related, but I wanted to say it anyway. So Napes asked on Spotify if we got new mics and it sounds really good. We did not.
No.
You know, it'd be funny if it sounded worse this week. My mic last week for some reason stopped working when I went on stream, it just wasn't working, and Robert messed with my settings. Now it's just way better.
Yeah,
Same mic.
Michelle's audio setup is literally a nightmare.
Audio is not my passion, and having to adjust it is annoying, and I will just do whatever I think sounds okay.
Yeah, so it's weird because like,
I should not be in charge of
her-
it.
Her computer, she sets the volume to be extremely
I
low,
set it on 12.
and
I hate having loud volume.
12 out of 100.
Yeah.
And also, whenever trying to fix her microphone setup, I have the microphone, which is the same one we've had. It's a Shure SM7B, and
It's an
it's
expensive microphone.
it's piped through one audio interface into another audio interface, so I have that real life issue. And then on top of that, for streaming, she pipes her audio through a digital audio interface.
I feel like you told me to add that.
No, I didn't.
Someone did.
But that's how she gets around the Twitch DMCA thing.
Oh, that.
So it's like fixing any audio issue for Michelle is like literally my biggest nightmare. So it's
But we do plan on getting 2 mics and recording somewhere else, and Robert will set that up.
it's funny with all those things set up. The reason you think it sounds better is because I added 3 settings on OBS. So
Yeah, this is like a really good mic, and a lot of streamers use this mic, and I just don't know how to have good audio settings. I mess around with it, and then I get frustrated, and I stop messing around with it.
yeah, there you go. So just stick with free stuff, I guess.
All right, a couple more questions over on Discord. First one is from Harger. What if there was a similar event to Shooting Stars, but for farming? Somewhere in the world, there's
down.
yeah, I'm right. Somewhere in the world, there's a raging weed patch. You need assist in harvesting the weeds. Sometimes
I just imagine you're like, oh, I gotta take care of these. Start lighting up, dude.
sometimes in the weeds, you'll find something special. For example, valuable herbs or seeds, or probably clue scrolls. I like that.
Start blowtorching all these weeds.
I think it'd be funny if you walk up, you know, and it's tier 9, instead of them being bigger, it's just like incredibly tangled looking. It's like, whoa, you can't even begin to traverse that. You're only level 80. Right?
That's so nerdy, but yeah,
I like
sure.
it. I like it because the only way to do farming is like time gated unless you're doing tithe farm. And I think that's lame.
Yeah, I think it's cool
I like this idea.
for sure. Yeah, I guess it's okay. I don't really see any negatives. But then the thing I don't know, because I'm kind of
He's
conflicted.
trying to find a way to be a hater here.
No, I'm conflicted because like I like that there's AFK content in the game, but I do kind of worry if there's like too much AFK stuff, because then you like, or at least I kind of get the feeling of like there's always stuff to be AFKing. Like you could always be
True.
getting XP.
Whenever,
currently.
before I was 99 mining, I would be like, well, I can't go brush my teeth until I'm set about a star, which is kind of like
Yeah.
the AFK mindset.
Yeah, so it's
I mean,
like,
literally me recording right now, I'm like, I have to go fishing.
it's not a real problem.
I've gotten 2 levels since we started the recording.
Yeah, it's not a real problem. So I honestly think it, and I'm also conflicted because I do think there should be better ways to level farming. Leveling farming is awful
It is really bad.
as far as experiences go.
It gets really good whenever you're like, you know, like 90 and you can plant everything. But even then, you plant everything, you get 200,000 XP a day, and then you have to wait till the next day.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna
what?
say it sounds good when you say it, but it's really just you getting used to doing a daily,
It's a
which
daily,
is
yeah.
one of the worst mechanics ever invented.
Yeah, and like Tithe Farm's fine, but we could use more options than just Tithe Farm.
Yeah,
We need like a middle ground.
yeah. Tithe Farm is like,
Very active.
it's very not a mini game. I don't know how
It's
else to say it.
interesting.
Like it's kind of like a mini game posing as a mini game. Like it's
Yeah.
not really a mini game. This is just
A baby
the
minigame.
way to train it if you don't want to do dailies.
Yeah.
It yeah, it's
I hate that farming's a daily.
because like Guardians of the Rift is a mini game. You can go do it. You don't have to. You can go do it if you want. But like
Something about minigames, they should be fun. Tithe farm's not fun.
it's not like you have to do Tithe Farm, but it's like, oh, do you want to train this skill? Well, you have to do this then. It's
I
not like
didn't.
there's
I-
another option besides the daily.
I just did dailies for 105 million XP.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of Tithe Farm. I haven't even greenlogged it. I actually need to go back for some stuff.
Yeah, it's so I do think it needs it. I just am worried
Something.
about constant AFK farms.
Yeah, it would have to be like Shooting Stars where it's like every hour and it's random tiers.
Okay.
Matt said, I've always felt like OSRS doesn't appeal to the player that only plays one time or so a week. Actually,
Yeah, absolutely. There's no more pinnacle statement than that.
Actually, that's like me. I don't play much, but I love playing once and only doing things that are fun. But I think that's a lot due to my nostalgia. If I joined the OSRS community for the first time today, I feel like I'd be turned off by the insane focus on efficiency. Do you think Jagex could or should try to do something to make the game fun, even if you're never going to be a high-level player? It seems like in the 2000s, the game had a lot of these players, but the community has turned. Should we read? Wraith had a long response to that as well. Would you like to?
Sure, this is
Wraith's talked about this a lot, actually.
this is Wraith's response. I thought about this too. Years ago, I believe the average player was in their teens when they had a lot more free time, and now the player is much
We're
older.
elderly.
Probably typically in their mid to late 20s, early 30s.
Robert's also adjusting your message, by the way, Wraith.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm summarizing. That's what they're saying. So knowledge about the game is also cumulative, which means that this is something I've talked about as well, is that the player base knows more about the game every year. They only get better. So there's always more resources, guides, and plugins than there was last time. So one of the most exciting things about brand new content is that nobody knows what's going on, but it becomes solved pretty quickly. And then you just take that same approach forever. The devs have also added more complexity in response to the average player's skill level improving over time. At one time, Jad was the most difficult PVM challenge, but now it's the first thing you do as a mid-level player. Jagex has added a lot of lower-level content that in these last few years, because I think they want to appeal to the core player base that still plays the game pretty casually. Okay. I
Thoughts?
forgot the original question.
Do you think Jagex could or should try to do something to make the game fun, even if you're never going to be a high level player?
Yeah, dude, I do.
Yeah.
I definitely do, because most
You don't
people...
know if you even want to really do high level other than like raids.
Well, it's not
you
even
don't
that I
wanna go for
want to
GM.
do high level. It's just that is where the good content is. Like, no one is like,
There's
oh,
nothing that fun mid level.
I can't wait to do drift net fishing. Like, no, literally no one in this earth has ever said that
What about
sentence.
Scurious?
So, like, Scarius is like, okay, but the thing is, like, there should be like a level 40 Echo Dagonoth King. Like, Echo Dagonoth King is interesting and
It's
fun.
actually pretty fun, yeah.
So, like, that, maybe a Soul Heredit boss that's level 50. I don't care what they drop. They could drop stones.
I mean, I think that there could be more, but they've also been doing well. Like they did like the Moon's Apparel. That's a really good mid level one. And it's challenging and it's tilting at times. Don't act like it wasn't.
It was, yeah, I guess it was because I like 70 combat when I started doing
He
it.
cried like 80 times.
It's recommended to be like 90. And and honestly, I actually think that's a bad example, because the only reason I was getting upset is because of how poorly made the Blood Moon boss is. And
If you're
you
mid
don't,
level, you're messed up.
if you don't do enough damage at that boss, you're there for like 10 minutes.
That's true.
There should not be a mechanic like that, and I still stand by that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think that's some of those, like, I think specifically, extremely specifically, the Eclipse boss is okay from the Perilous Moons. But I think they
like
should
that one
add
too,
that
the Crush
stuff
one.
to lower level content, because it's interesting. You can jump in there. It doesn't have to be low level content like 20 or something, but like I said, like, why is there not like a variation of the Echo Guardians at like, I don't know, Slayer level 84?
Do you
like,
think that they should do something like how they made the Wilderness solo bosses easier with other bosses?
No, because those aren't engaging. You don't go there and you're like, all right,
Vettion's
sick,
engaging.
sick. I get to
I
go.
actually really like Vettion.
I guess so.
You have to move constantly. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
Lincoln,
I guess so, but it's not engaging in the way that if
that you're thinking.
like if you did, you know, Echo DKs or Echo Guardians, like
They're stressful.
if you did those, they're interesting. You actually have to turn your brain on when you're playing, which is
Yeah.
not common in this game. So it's like, I don't want to jump in and do Tob, but because that's the only engaging content in the game, that's the only thing people want to log in and do, and it takes an hour to do it.
So more low to mid-level engaging content.
Yeah.
That's not Scarious.
Like I liked doing the 50 KC at Serb. It wasn't challenging, but
One leagues, yeah.
yeah, well, Echo Serb, sorry,
Yeah.
because it wasn't very challenging. You know, the KC were still a minute, but it's like I had to think a little bit more.
Yeah.
And
It looked fun.
And they were only a minute long, which was good. Like I don't have to be like, all right, let's wait 20 minutes for Bob to get back talking to his wife, and then we can do this 30-minute raid where hopefully, you know, we have some fun, and
I'm
then
Bob,
that's it.
unfortunately.
And then that's it. I got to go to bed because I got to work in the morning. So it's like, I think they should add stuff like that that's more engaging for players that play less, because not everyone can commit. This is why Call of Duty and stuff like that is so popular still. You can jump in, kill people for 20 minutes, and then leave and you feel good about it.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Even like Moon's Apparel, there's a lot of prep and stuff involved. It's not really it's not really jump in and do it and then play for 20 minutes and log out.
Yeah.
God Wars Dungeon, same thing.
You
Scarious,
technically
you
can, I guess, if you bring your own supplies.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of it's to like not bring your own supplies.
Yeah. Like Scarious is actually a pretty good example of it. Like it's, you know, fairly engaging. It is like lower level content.
Best boss in the game, I heard.
You can do it at a lower level, like lower than intended. And but that also does have a healing mechanic, which I do kind of hate. But yeah, I think that's okay. But yeah, I do think they should focus on that in some way.
I think they've been focusing on it. They just can continue. But also I've talked about this before, how it seems like they lean too much one way. Like right now they're really leaning on mid-level. And I'm like, okay, but you should like split it up. Huey's actually a pretty good mid-level one.
I haven't done
The thing is, I don't know what's mid-level because I'm running out the scythe. Like,
well, I think like,
everything seems fairly easy.
I think like 80 combat is pretty mid level.
Yeah, I think Huey's mid-level. So they're focusing a little bit too much on mid-level. They just switch back and forth rather than keeping it even.
Yeah, I was like, they should just like do like, oh, you know, we did a 90 boss before being Perilous Moons. Let's do something that's like a 110 boss, you know, not max, but you know, pretty high. And then they'll be like, all right, well, let's do another 60 because we just did a 110. So it's like, but they don't do that. They just do like, they're like, all right, let's do like 15 of these 80s in a row until people get sick of them. But whatever.
Anyway, that's it for our questions this week.
That's it. That was a good question though.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks again for your questions. Make sure to ask them anywhere so that we can answer them again next week. And you can find us at our socials to ask those questions.
So our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky are all Bunebape. I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. And I'm going to try and upload this episode on Spotify video. I don't know how to do it, so potentially it'll be out later. And if it's out in time, it should be. I don't know why it wouldn't be. On Friday, December 6th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to probably be having 2 friends come over and join me on the stream. And it will be fun. So you should stop by.
Yeah.
One of them is new to RuneScape, and the other one is in that short where I led a friend to get killed by dark mages and he uninstalled the game.
Okay.
So come hang out.
More importantly than all of that, I will be playing a Titan in Path of Exile 2.
It makes me sad that you're not going to play RuneScape. Are you going to quit?
I mean, I don't think I'll quit. I thought about it. I don't think I'll quit, but I will be playing Path of Exile
So you'll just
heavily.
do more AFK stuff.
Maybe.
Because I was like, I want you people to try the specialist.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
I mean, you still have to catch up. All right, but we'll see you all next time. Thanks again for watching. We hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all
very soon. Bye-bye. Just look at the camera, goddammit.
Ow.
Ah!